Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Hey, Spooky. I got your email, Pookie Pook. Well, I don't want to call you Pookie Pook because I call Stacy Pookie. You're special. I am early because I want to get my theme song out of the way before Dana got here, in case she comes in like right at 4. Because I don't think I want to make her sit through my theme song. So the people that are here, you guys get to hear the theme song. Everybody that comes after this is going to miss it. So here we go. I know I usually wait till 100, but we're going to get it going. She signs on every day at 4, waiting for MAGA to enter the door. Whether this and that and a sheepish grin. Look out, MAGA, she's about to begin. She's got moxie, it runs through her soul. She's the queen of SmackDown, yeah, it's her role. She invites the MAGA to challenge a fight. Careful where you tread, cause she's got bite. Come see Diana, a crusader of truth. Her sassy one-liners carry more than one tooth. She's bold and she's strong, she's a force to see. Diana is the badass of SmackDown Queens. MAGA tries to argue, but they have no wit. Diana hit him with facts when they start talking shit. Your logic's a mess, your facts are weak. Go step aside, boo, I've got truth to speak. She's got a heart of gold, but her force is steel. Don't ever talk over her, cause she'll make you squeal. From Twitter to TikTok, she's roaming the streets. Diana's got game, and she's hard to beat. Come see Diana, a crusader of truth. Her sassy one-liners carry more than one tooth. She's bold and she's strong, she's a force to see. Diana is the badass of SmackDown Queens. She's got a megaphone and a platform to preach. Running a show in the TikTok streets. Equality for all and respect for her crew. Come meet Sir Val and Gem of the Jewel. With Magus in the corner, looking kinda small as they stumble over word and begin the free fall. Diava delivers the endgame stunner. She says, oh, look, we have a runner. Diava, a crusader of truth. Her sassy one-liners carry more than one tooth. She's bold and she's strong, she's a force. Hey, everybody tap in and sharing, tap in and sharing, guys. Is the badass of SmackDown Queens. So raise up our glasses and give her a follow. Come see her make all the MAGA swallow. With her wit and her wisdom, she's got game. Diava's a legend, and we all know her name. Stop being so emotional. And that is for all of the MAGA, especially the MAGA men, the most emotional creatures to ever walk the planet. Oh my God. All right, guys, today is a very special day. I am on my main account today because we are interviewing 2 candidates today. We are going to be interviewing very first up at 4 p.m. She should be arriving any minute now. We're going to be interviewing Dana Marie Foster, who is running for governor of Florida. Whoop, whoop. And since I am in Florida, this one is exciting to me. This one is exciting to me because I actually can vote for this candidate. And I plan on early voting tomorrow. So I wanted to talk to Dana Marie today. Oh, Miss Cece, that's so funny. And then at 6 p.m., we're going to be interviewing Matt Gromlich, who is running in Louisiana's 4th district against Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. So we got 2 really good interviews today. Hopefully you guys will stick around, even though there's not going to be the debates that everybody usually lives for. But this is really important. This election is so important that this is something that needs to be done, and we have to be able to have the opportunity to, or not have to have. It's nice to have the opportunity to talk to someone who's actually running, and perhaps maybe we can help her campaign, phone banking,
texting. Even if you don't live in the state of Florida or the state of Louisiana, we can still help candidates that don't live in our area win their races. So, same as Sitter. I can't wait for the see there, Nelson. I'm so glad that everybody's as excited as I am. But this is a very pivotal election. We all know that for many reasons. But even in the state of Florida, um, Ron DeSantis has done some crazy things over the years and some archaic things. And it's just, we need somebody good. And Dana Marie is really the only progressive that's going to be running. She's ready for a governor of Florida, the whole state. Yes, Mr. Man, Texas. When she's here, you guys can be a little bit more heavy on the mute button. We don't want to distract away from the conversation, or especially if they're being gross. Welcome, YouTube. I did get emailed some questions from some of my followers, so I'm really grateful. Thank you. You know who you are. It'll help me be able to streamline some questions. But as soon as Dana Marie gets here, I will definitely be inviting them up as soon as I see her in the queue. Or hopefully she'll request up. And yes, before she gets here, it's Thunder Thursday. Woo woo! I don't want to say that while she's here. Did you go check? Okay, well, he's looking on the AC, so you gotta look for food. Welcome in, welcome in. I'm in Kentucky. We need help with getting Charles Booker for McConnell's seat. Oh, yeah, that would be great. Welcome in the Sacred. Welcome in Stephen. Welcome in Clifton. Hello, everybody. Oh, that's funny, Mr. Man. As time allows, I don't know how much time Dana has to spend with us today, but as time allows, we will allow some questions. I will give preference to anyone who wants to request up to ask a question to Florida residents first, since they actually the ones who would be voting for her. But I will allow other people to ask questions as her time allows. So I'm keeping an eye on my emails too to make sure there's not a problem. JB says, okay. Oh, thank you, Allie. So welcome in. I'm really excited. Dana, you're a Florida resident. Awesome, awesome. I love that. Love that. Love that. We definitely need some progressive representation here in Florida. Not just a D Democrat, but like a progressive would be great because we got to flip around some of the stuff that Ron DeSantis did. Desperately, yes. I'm not spreading misinformation in any possible way. But you can be quiet. Today we're interviewing congressional candidates and governor candidates. Paid your Florida residents as well. Okay, awesome. Yay! And ladies and gentlemen, we have Dana Marie Foster. Woohoo! Hi, Dana.
Light so y'all can see me. I'm sorry, I'm in my kitchen.
That's okay. I'm kind of glad that you're a little casual because so am I. I'm like, I hope she doesn't show up in a suit.
Oh, no. I'm just wearing like a business casual top.
Okay. Very cool. Yes. Well, I am a lifelong Florida native. I was born here, born downtown Orlando, and have lived in Central Florida all 54 years. So I've seen Democrat governors. I've seen, unfortunately, too many years of Republican governors who have taken this state in a direction that has not been good.
Yeah.
shall we say.
No, I mean, to me, that sounds like history, and you've just witnessed just everything unfold over the last several decades, and having a more, I would say, complete account of what this state has been through. Definitely more than me. I'm 32, so, and I've been here since I was about 7 years old. So, Florida is all that I know. Florida is home.
Right.
And I just know that for me, I refuse to just sit by on the sidelines and not do anything when I know that democracy is something that we all have a hand in, we all have a part in, no matter how big or small. And I just want more Floridians to know that their voices matter, and they absolutely should get involved in our democracy and our politics more often, because once you're challenging the system, that's when you're going to start to see the change that you're seeking.
Correct. And right now, democracy is on the docket. I mean, democracy is in the midterms. We're in a fight for this country. We're in a fight for the democracy, from sliding into fascism, from having a complete authoritarian takeover. It's a precarious time. And when I tell people every day when I'm on this app and debating politics and talking to people and trying to change minds, that we have to vote like our life depends on it right now for this midterm, because it literally does. Like I have a chronic illness that is no cure for and is degenerative. My children have autism. It's, so there's a lot of things that are going on, and they're taking away disability services, and they're wanting to access, and all of those things is just we're losing more things day by day. And
absolutely. And you said something about like voting, like our life depends on it. I remember doing a panel at FAMU and up in Tallahassee, and there was a young woman on that panel, and she was from Alabama, and she had even notated how she noticed there was such a cultural difference when it came to politics in Florida versus where she's from in Alabama. And as harsh as this might sound, but she said that they're kind of grown culturally to know, and I guess because of the historical context, that it's either you vote or you die. Like, that's just how they approach voting. Like, voting is something a part of your well-being, and it makes all the difference in whether you're here today or gone tomorrow, so to speak. And so even though that's a very heavy and weighted statement, I understood what she meant, that there is just a different level of importance that voting is placed on in a state like Alabama, especially within certain communities, versus I think here in Florida. I'm in Southeast Florida, and I know sometimes we kind of hit the curve a little after the fact. You can go into a grocery store today and ask someone, hey, like, did you vote? And they're going to be like, what are you talking about?
Yep.
And I do feel that that is an inequity in the sense of a shortcoming on not just, I think, the government, but also the Democratic Party. Like, everyone in this state should know that there is a primary election going on.
Right.
And you can see, at least from the progressive side, a lot of us progressive candidates, whether it's statewide, congressional, or local government, we are reminding people the best way that we can 24/7 across all of our social media accounts. Hey, it's early voting. Hey, 5 more days. Hey, do you have a plan? We're doing all that we can, but at the same time, like, where are the entities that actually have the means to reach people by the masses, right? And what we've actually seen historically from a civic engagement standpoint is that after COVID happened, Democratic efforts for voter outreach declined and never bounced back.
Right.
And I think that it's so important to highlight that. And this is why we're seeing, for example, like up in Northeast Florida, they're having some of the lowest turnout rates for early voting than that they've seen in a very, very long time.
I think a lot of people are disenfranchised with voting, and that's sad. There's a lot of people that are just apathetic. They'll, I hear it often. I don't agree with it, but they're like, it doesn't matter. When nothing ever happens for us, it doesn't matter for. And I have to have that conversation a lot with people who come up to my live, but I have to explain to them that you can't have an apathetic approach to it. I said, I talk to people and they're like, oh, I don't get involved in politics. I don't care. And I'm like, you better, because politics is involved in every single aspect of your life, from how much you pay for your garbage collection at your house. Like everything that touches your life is a policy decision.
Correct. And I even started incorporating that in some of the like interviews and town halls that I've done, where I speak upon how in this last year of me teaching, there was no way to escape politics like within our classrooms. And I'm a former math teacher. And so I think that says a lot of just how politics, as you mentioned, has entered into everyone's lives in some way, shape, or form. There's no way to escape it. To take it even a step further, there's no way to just kind of say, yeah, no, I'm going to be hands off. No, you've got to make a choice and you have to pick a side. And even right now, we're kind of seeing that behind the scenes, even as it relates to my gubernatorial race. There are so many elected officials across this entire state that support me behind closed doors, but they're cozying up against the establishment, and it's like, but where does your moral compass come in?
Correct.
And when does that actually step to the forefront, and also the service that you are embarking on, or that you have taken on as being an elected official to the people that you serve, right? And it's just, I think it's just disheartening, I think, all the way around.
It really is. Yeah. I do have some specific questions for Florida. I know that Amendment 3 is a huge thing, and right now the yes voters have 1,000,001 commercials and TikToks and all of those things. And for those of you who don't know, Amendment 3 in Florida is to basically do away with, lessen, and eventually do away with property taxes for home buyers. What is your stance on Amendment 3?
So, as someone whose entire salary, whether it's through public libraries or public education, it's always been paid for by property taxes and other taxes as well. That's what you pretty much sign up for as a sacrifice when you are a public servant, because you understand that what you are doing is in service to your community. And so with that being said, I don't support the complete erasure of property taxes, but what I do believe needs to take place is reformation. Yes. In terms of creating a progressive tax system where you are decreasing the amount of property taxes one pays on an annual basis, especially if their home is already paid off for. Right. So, for example, I kind of work with things from a numerical standpoint. I always say that, for example, let's say that you're paying, I don't know, $1,000 in property taxes, right? Even though no one's paying that much, that little. Exactly. So instead of paying the $1,000 in property taxes on an annual basis, your home is paid off for. You're not paying any mortgage. Right. And what you're really paying for is just the service of being able to, for example, send your children to public school, be able to expect EMTs to arrive to your home if you dial 911. So instead of paying that $1,000, maybe we're looking at anywhere between maybe $650 or $750, right? In terms of just making sure that we're decreasing the amount that's being paid to reflect the position in which a homeowner is in, where they own their home, right? So again, what you're paying for are just the services of these public goods that you are entitled to by being a resident in a specific, municipality. Of course, I want to ensure that once I'm in office, that these types of decisions, though, are carried out not unilaterally. They are done in a very balanced manner, because fiscal responsibility is something that's super important to me.
Thank goodness.
like one thing that I have noted, and in terms of just my own research during this entire process, is that our state budget is actually pretty small compared to other states throughout the entire country. So it's important to note that what we have to also do simultaneously is making sure that we're finding ways on how to inject more funds back into our state budget, so that way we can offer certain resources or different breaks, so to speak, if that makes sense for our constituents.
Definitely, it makes good sense. I'm in the situation you're in. My house is paid off, but you have to pay the property taxes, which I don't mind a reduction, like you said. I don't mind them looking at a reduction, or based on how long you've lived here, and maybe someone who just moves to Florida pays a little more, so that people that have, I get that. I'm totally okay with that. I think just cutting out all property taxes. The biggest problem I have is no one has come out with telling me how they're going to make up for the shortfall.
Well, unofficially, what is going to happen, and they're not speaking about it because then it becomes an issue for us everyday working people, those costs are offset through like sales tax. And so we already know just from the data that everyday working people are the ones that are spending almost a third of their checks on a monthly basis on things at sale, whether it's, groceries primarily, or even just other things that they're purchasing to aid them in their everyday lives, whatever resources that they might need. So, of course, when those taxes go up, again, who does that affect more so? It's us everyday people. And who does it give a break to? The ultra wealthy. So, it's just, I said one time that it all kind of goes back to us. It's a lot of different things all happening at once. But one of the things that are occurring with our government is making sure that there is a distinct separation between the haves and the have-nots, making sure that the ultra wealthy stay at that top 0.5, 1%, and then we everyday people are here at the bottom of the totem pole, and they are literally staying in their positions of power on, stepping on our backs.
Yeah, I agree. My next question for you is, what your first 100 days in office, what are your priorities?
I feel like every single day almost, it feels like my priorities either shift or they expand, because there's always something happening, like in Florida. And I think through and through, what I've always said is affordability is one of my top issues, because we're all feeling it across the political spectrum. It doesn't matter if you're Republican, Democrat, Independent, or anything in between in terms of political affiliation. We are all living through this affordability crisis, and we're just trying to make a way to get by. And so from a renter standpoint, what I want to make sure we're advocating for is making sure that we're removing the statewide rent control ban that's in place. It's a part of Live Local, but it existed before the Live Local Act. And what this ban does is that it prevents local governments like, let's say, Palm Beach County from setting a rent control cap in their county so that they can provide financial relief to the constituents of Palm Beach. And essentially what we can even do is expand upon that and say that what we're also seeing from this ban is the overstepping of the state government, and what we're doing is impeding upon home rule, and the fact that local governments are entitled to that. And I will be a governor that will respect home rule of local government, and the only way that I will step in and impede in terms of home rule is whenever the constituents have made their voices incredibly loud that their government is not working for them, but instead working against them at the local level. That is when your state government should step in, right?
Right.
And so that's on the renter standpoint. And then as it relates to from a homeowner standpoint, one issue that I really want to look at, might take a little bit more time for the property tax stuff, but with the homeowner's insurance, that is something that can be addressed. And the reason why I say that is because the Office of Insurance Regulation falls underneath the oversight of the governor.
Correct.
I get to appoint the insurance commissioner. And so I want to ensure that this is someone that's going to fight for working families, not cozying up to the insurance companies and those that are looking to seek their pockets lined.
Which is what's been happening.
Yes. And a lot of us also too what we're seeing, and these are going to be things that I'm going to make sure that the insurance commissioner is addressing is, for example, why are we seeing denials and claims? Why are we seeing lapse in constituents file a claim versus when they actually have the resources that they need, to, for example, let's say we're in a hurricane and someone needs.
Golly, it's so loud. Sorry.
It's okay.
You're like this. I'm keep rolling. I'm rolling.
It's a shame that when someone has a hole in their roof that they have to sit there for even more than just a few days, and it's just we have to ensure that we have the necessary people in positions of power that are looking out for us. When you're in public office, there's a thing called servitude leadership, and you're leading through service to those that you are serving. And that's what a lot of politicians have forgotten.
They have.
I will give them a slight benefit of the doubt and say that they started off in a place where they were operating in that sense, but as they've sat in office for such an extended period of time, that has left their mindset in terms of how they operate. Hence why you have people at the congressional level saying that we need to have term limits, because we don't have the necessary individuals that are fighting for us, or if they started out that way, they don't remain that way.
Well,
so
my personal opinion is if we overturn Citizens United, we get rid of that problem, because when they made corporations people, but yet those said corporation CEOs, when they commit crimes or embezzle, they don't go to jail. But if they're people, they should have to go to jail. But anyway, I digress. But that's where a lot of the corporate money came from. As soon as Citizens United passed and corporations were seen as people, that's when you have people like Elon Musk spending over $200 million on a presidential campaign, because they're considered people. And once we get rid of Citizens United, I think a lot of that money, it seems like our representatives are no longer representing us, but whoever gives them the most money for their cause. And that's what it looks like on both sides. I usually don't both sides anything, because I don't find anything the Democrats are doing is akin to what this administration's doing. There's just no comparison whatsoever. But in this case, both sides do take that corporate money.
Yes, they do. They do. And so many people are so critical of, I think, how much money that we raised, but I'm incredibly proud of how much we've raised, because it's only come from everyday people. That is it.
Right.
We haven't taken any special or foreign interest group money, no PAC money at all whatsoever. If it doesn't come from a literal human being that, can tell us through, Act Blue, I work at a library, or I work at UHealth, or I work at Alachua County Public Schools, right? Unless our donations are coming from an actual Floridian or even a fellow American across this country, we don't take the donation at all whatsoever. And even though our budget looks completely different than, for example, maybe David Jolly, we have a point to prove, which is you have certain candidates that campaign on money out of politics, but yet they have war chests that have millions of dollars, and it's on both sides of the aisle.
Yep.
And they claim to be grassroots, but it's how can you be grassroots when you have millions upon millions of dollars?
I agree.
So the point that we are trying to prove, and we will publish how much we actually raised, especially when we win, because we will show that you absolutely can win with a grassroots campaign fully funded by the people. It's just that you have to have the correct candidate and the correct message. And what I mean by that
Michigan.
Is someone,
El Sayed was outspent 30 to 1 or 9 to 1 or something like that. It was incredible. And he decidedly won.
Yeah. And what happens is, what I think everyone across the entire spectrum politically has to realize is that we are in a space where we, the people, just want to see a human being as our candidates for no matter what the office is that they're running for. And so so it's actually, I think, probably worthy just to kind of insert this in. Yesterday, I was door knocking here in Broward County, and it started to rain. And hey, I mean, rain or shine, I'm still going to make sure that I'm getting to constituents across this entire state. And there was a woman where I knocked on her door and it was raining. And she asked me, she said, "You're literally out here and it's raining." And I said, "Yeah, why is rain going to stop me from showing up for the people? I want you all to see from now that no matter what it is, no mountain, no valley, however the song goes,
No
right?
rain, no nothing.
There is nothing that will keep me away from showing up for the people of the state. And that's what we need in our leaders as we move forward throughout the general election and for future elections." And as she said to me, this constituent, she said, "I've never seen a gubernatorial candidate knock on my door asking for my vote." She said, "I've never seen basically someone that was a human."
I've never had one knock on my door. To this day, I've lived in Florida all 54 years. I can't recall, even as a child, and especially as an adult. No, never. I've never had a candidate knock on my door ever.
And I can say me either. And that's why I always say I became the change that I was seeking, because we should see this all the time. And what I want to remind not just other candidates, but especially the current elected officials, this is a hiring process.
Yes.
You were trying to get our vote, meaning we the people. You have to impress us. It is not the other way around. And so that's why also too I entered this race, to help create that culture shift, because what we have to ensure is that we the people are always reminded that democracy only works with us, and the power of democracy only lies within our hands through our votes.
I agree. I asked some of my followers to send some questions they might have for other Floridians. I got one in particular about education. We know education is important for you because you're an educator, and so obviously that's important to you. But there was a really specific question about how you're going to address all the misinformation and the whitewashing of history with like this PragerU stuff and all of the basically whitewashing and the removal of like sex education and stuff like that in our public schools. Could you address that?
Absolutely. So a part of our platform for public education is to have what we call an independent curriculum commission. And what I want to see happen is that we have a separate entity within the Department of Education here in Florida that actually curates an equitable and inclusive curriculum that actually addresses the diversity within our history, so that we are actually providing a quality education to our students through our public schools. And so that's how we're going to be able to combat some of this misinformation that's actually taking place, because essentially what we need are individuals that are not partisan, both from a Republican and a Democratic standpoint. We need individuals that are nonpartisan, that are at the helm of public education, just to ensure that we are taking that balanced approach. And especially when, for example, we're looking at our public schools, and they are literal pillars within our communities, right? Whether it's an inner city, whether it's a rural community, when you look at some of these schools across the entire state, they're providing resources like, for example, programs where students can learn about computer engineering, or maybe they're learning about law, and you're curating and you're fostering that path of them being able to graduate and then go to our public universities and obtain that degree. And then what happens? They can recircle back into being a part of our economy. And essentially, it's kind of like us reinvesting within ourselves. So I want to ensure that, again, we are making sure that we are offering a quality education within the state, making sure that we have this independent curriculum commission that is over the curriculum that is implemented throughout Florida. A part of that, I want them to address the excessive testing that's currently taking place. As an educator, there is a moment of time, and all teachers in Florida know, where you don't see your students, especially at the high school level, more often, than you would like. It seems like they're outside of your classroom and they're testing, and you're not, and it severely kind of pushes you back in terms of your lesson plans and your pacing guides and making sure that you're hitting these marks that the state wants to make sure that the students know within a specified grade. So that's one thing that I want us to be able to address. Same thing with being able to bring back the AP African American Studies course
Yes.
to our state. I've also talked about ensuring that we're suspending and removing the Department of Education board members that voted to adopt the Phoenix Declaration, but because of this piece of, or this document, is that we are seeing the rollout of the FACT program being offered in our high schools, specifically throughout our state. And it says online that the FACT program is to provide factually accurate information to combat the woke agenda, which is just changing the narrative of what has actually happened within this country.
Correct.
And yeah, some of our history is not the prettiest. It's a very dark past that we have.
But you got to learn about it. They say if you don't learn about the history or something along those lines, and we're almost seeing that now. People that were alive during World War II, our grandparents that would tell us stories about how awful war was and all of this stuff and how bad it was with the Nazi regime and all that kind of stuff. All of those people have died off, and so people have almost forgotten how bad it was. And so that history is there for us to learn from, and even the bad parts of history. And I literally live, I don't want to dox myself, I just say Central Florida, but I'm very close to where the Ocoee massacres happened. And I didn't learn about the Ocoee massacres until I was on TikTok.
Wow. And see, like, that shouldn't happen.
And correct. That's correct. And so I've been, I have a very different dynamic. I am 54. My son is 32, your age. My daughter's 29. And then I have twins that are 12.
Wow. Okay. That's kind of like my mom.
Yeah.
So, because I'm 32, but I have a younger brother and sister. They're 21 and 19.
Yeah. So I still have two that are in school, but I actually don't send them to school. I've homeschooled them their whole lives. They are on the autism spectrum, but my daughter has testing anxiety. When you're talking about other, because we've tried online school, virtual school, we've tried so many different types of programs, but she just has a very high, almost crippling level of anxiety. And so, but anyway, that's not what I'm here to talk about. But there are, I want my kids to know about history, even the uncomfortable parts. I know that the white people in this country, I mean, I'm a non-practicing white, but but the white people in this country don't want to feel bad. They don't want their kids to feel guilty about what happened and all of that. And it's BS. They need to know. They need to know. Otherwise, we're seeing it all over again. Racism and bigotry and homophobia and transphobia has all reared its ugly head as if we've made no progress in this country.
I was very taken aback when I was on a separate TikTok live and I was called a racial slur by a constituent.
Oh.
And in all my 32 years, I had never been called that word by someone. Yeah.
Oh.
And so I didn't really know how to take it in. Of course, there was a certain, I was told, I think, resolve that I had because I'm always the type of person to stay cool, calm, and collected. It takes a lot to really get me out of character. I stay as level-headed as possible. I mean, I was an educator for 5 years, so you kind of have to have that type of temperament being a teacher.
Sure.
But it was definitely, I think for me, something that was really heartbreaking was I had forgotten to tell my dad. And my dad went because he knew that I had did another interview TikTok live. And
right.
So he went to go watch it. And it got to that point and I didn't know. I was just off somewhere in my parents' apartment and he goes, Dana, he said, did this constituent just call you the bleep, bleep, bleep word? And I was like, oh, I totally forgot, yeah, that happened because there's always so much going on with the campaign. I'm not always able to bring
Sure.
my parents
Sure.
need, but to know, like, to see like that pain on my parents' like face, because then my mom came from the back room and she had like so much to say, but it's just like we have entered this space where racism has come back to being so loud and so prominent
and so
and
ugly.
Correct. It never went away. It just got quieter.
It's true.
But because when you have individuals like Donald Trump and even Ron DeSantis that are leading, whether it's our state or this country, and they're putting out policies that are divisive, that are racist, and that do come from marginalized communities, like my own being a Black woman, then yeah, this is how we are in this space in 2026, and a gubernatorial candidate is called the N-word by a constituent. It's insane, but this is America.
But that's the culture that this president and this current governor, calling everything that helps people or anything that's even remotely diverse DEI or woke. Well, they forget the A in DEI. It's DEIA for accessibility. They forget about the accessibility part of it. It's included with the DEI boogeyman. And it's just utterly ridiculous. And for them to just go through and take away grants and stuff just because it has Black women or Black men and, specifically pulling back those type of grants and stuff like that is just heinous. It's really, really terrible. And I do have one more question, and I don't know how much more time do you have?
You've got me till 5.
Okay. I'll ask one more question, then I'll let some other people come up and ask questions. But I did want to ask you about number one, it's kind of a twofold question: environment. Because Florida's going to be underwater if we don't do something in the years to come. But also, along with that, data centers.
So I don't support data centers at all whatsoever. A lot of these politicians and candidates, included David Jolly, they saw Kathy Hochul sign a moratorium and they're like, oh my God, we should do it too. But I'm very clear that we should be listening more to the people and that our policies should be more reflective of our voices. And when you listen to the people of this state, they have all said that they don't want AI data centers built at all whatsoever, because they want an actual ban. And so I support bans of any future AI data centers being built in this state, and those that are currently in place, we need to heavily regulate them until we are at a space where we can legally ensure that we are getting them out should a local community deem fit. And as it relates to the environment, we have too many people in positions of power within like the state agency for fish and wildlife conservation or even environmental protections that are basically developers. Like, they're not even scientists or have a basic understanding that like mangroves are needed to ensure that we're protecting our coastal lines.
Correct.
And I say that all the time because my former marine biology teacher became my colleague once I started teaching at my old high school. And that's something that, even because my brother and my sister had the same marine biology teacher too, that's just something that's just, if you know, you know. Like,
right.
When you don't, then that's telling. And that shows like you shouldn't be in this position of protecting the environment.
Agree.
So one of my, of course, again, appointing heads of state agencies, I want to ensure that the person leading the state agency for environmental protections is a scientist. No ifs, ands, or buts.
Yes.
And we have to make sure that we are not going through any overturning of zones that are strictly preserves, right? And then you're kind of saying, okay, no, we can take off this little piece and we can change the zoning so that we can use it for development. And then after a while, then it's another little piece and another little piece until the preserve is gone, or if the preserve is there, it's like the size of a parking lot.
Right.
But yet we wonder why we're driving down the highway and you literally have like all these signs for like wildlife to know that they cross the highway because we're impeding on their home.
I have bears that walk through my backyard and onto my front porch all the time in Central Florida.
And I was driving up, it was this coast, but it was still considered like a state road or a state highway. I forget what number it was. I don't know why 91 is sticking out in my head. But I was driving up, and yeah, for the very first time, I had seen a sign that said bear crossing. I was like, well, I don't think I'm ready for that. It was late at night. I was by myself in my car. I don't know how to handle that kind of situation of like a bear.
Imagine you open your front door and there's a bear there, and you're like, oh, hi. I've done that.
I was going to say, I don't think that's Winnie the Pooh. So.
No. I had and for me, being able to pop these AI data centers up so fast is just proof that if you wanted to, you will, because they could have done that with homeless shelters. They could have done that with affordable housing, inexpensive housing, and all those things. But I also I'm not 100% against the AI data centers if they do it ethically and properly, where they use their own electricity or their own water, they provide their own resources and don't take from the community. And I know that in China, every single parking garage has solar on the top, and they use the solar to power the AI facilities, whatever. So they're not taking any of the community electricity and stuff like that. So I think that there's creative ways of going about it. But I think that them lying about that that's going to be creating all these jobs, it's going to create 10 high-paying jobs because everything else is automated.
So that's why it's just kind of like one of those things, like you said, where, until it's shown that there is an like ironclad plan where it does not impede on our environment, I will not allow an AI data center in Florida. And as of right now, no one has drafted a plan as such that are bringing these types of structures into our state. So they would not have permission, by me at least, to be here.
Is there anybody in the queue? I don't recognize any. Hold on. I see mostly people that are not following me, with one follower, which is screaming bot to me. So I would like to bring up people that would like to ask you a question. I have more questions if nobody connects, but because I could talk all day. I love it. I'm a very, very social person. Boopster. Oh, I guess that was a mistake. Okay. What do you think about legalizing gardening? You can't use that word. You can't use that word on TikTok. So.
Yeah, I will be a governor that will always support the people. So once it's an amendment and it's passed,
okay,
it comes across my desk, there will be no opposition because technically it's passed. I believe Ron DeSantis has it before.
Well, it did pass the majority, the normal majority that we vote on referendums. Same with the abortion, but he raised the threshold, knowing that we probably couldn't get to 60, which it passed that 50 or 51% that it's supposed to have to pass. But of course, he had to move the goalpost because he's I call him DeSatan. I really, really don't like him.
Comments,
oh.
I'm like, oh my goodness.
or DeShit stain. I've called him that too.
There's so many different names. I'm like, oh my God, you guys are ruthless.
we are, especially those of us who do this every single day, because we have to talk to all these MAGA people, and a lot of them are really, really horrendous people. Honestly, because they're really just as vile, unfortunately, as Trump and them are. And it's quite unnerving. But I've also flipped a lot of minds and have a lot of people that are going to be voting blue. I have 3 people just in Texas that told me in the last week is going to be voting blue midterms who were Trump, flag carrying MAGA. And I was able to flip them. So
that's amazing. I went to Bay County about maybe a week ago, and everyone's like, what the hell were you doing in Bay County? I was like, listen, just hold on. But their Chamber of Commerce had an event, and obviously I couldn't make it to table, but I did get there in time to be able to speak for 60 seconds to the crowd. And mind you, there were so many candidates that were there, and I put 2 and 2 together really, really quickly that I was in a room full of Republicans, and it didn't register until later on in the day at another event that I went to, because I was in a tan suit. Someone was like, oh, haha, nice suit. And I was like, and it didn't click.
Oh, because of
until
Obama.
then I realized, I said, oh my God. So again, all the signs were there.
Yep.
I was in Trump land.
Yep.
And I listened to some of the candidates speak. And it's one thing where you hear about it like on social media and in the news. And then it's another thing to be in a room with these people. But the irony of it all was that they were being so performative, speaking about how they've got to combat the woke agenda and push white Christian nationalist values. But the whole entire room, like as they were speaking, they weren't getting like the feedback I guess they thought they were going to get. Because in a couple points in their speeches, they kind of got a little like uncertain.
Like crickets. You could hear crickets like chirping.
Right, because it was like, guys, this is the Chamber of Commerce for Bay County. Like, this isn't a MAGA rally. So,
Right.
you know, you're not going to get the same kind of like reception that you think that you would. But what I will say is this, because I had to quickly pivot what I was going to say for my 60 seconds. Once I read the room, I was like, oh, okay. And instead, I didn't speak on anything up from my platform but affordability. And I did say, like how I mentioned earlier, it doesn't matter where you fall on the political spectrum, we are all living through this crisis. And this is how we intend on addressing it. And when I walked on that stage, it was silence. But when I walked off the stage, I did get a round of applause. So I was like, okay.
I'll take that.
Exactly. So, you know, and I tell people even from now, you know, where I'm able to, I am conducting a little bit of outreach in some of these traditionally red districts because through the general election, it becomes less blue and it becomes purple and all of Florida matters, right? So in this moment, yes, I'm speaking primarily to Democrats because we're a closed primary, even though that should change. But once we get into the general election, then the entire state actually becomes a factor because it's about making sure that everyone knows that, yeah, I will be a governor to every single Floridian, even those who disrespect me to my face. Like, I will still treat you like the human being that you are, even if you don't treat me that way.
Right. I love that. Lady Taurus, did you have a question? There was some background noise, so I muted you, but you're fully welcome to unmute.
Yes, I do. I actually do have a question. How are you, Miss Foster?
I'm good. How are you?
It's blistering hot right now. Oh my God, I can deal with this Florida heat. My question for you, as the daughter of an educator, and I know that you are an educator, as it stands now, our trash collectors make more than our educators. What can we do or what can you do to possibly see to it that our teachers get an increase in pay? Because our teachers, for one, we have a hard time keeping teachers because they don't make anything. And our students are unable to learn from teachers that don't have enthusiasm. And with the lack of pay, you can see why they're unenthusiastic.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So thank you for your question. And
thank you, lady.
One thing that I'll give as a preface to answering it is that I am strongly advocating now and once I get into the governor's office for tax reform in our state. And what I want to ensure is that we're raising the corporate tax rate so that these corporations are paying their fair share, and we're closing these corporate tax loopholes. So again, corporations are paying their fair share. Because what we're seeing right now is there's a huge opportunity for us to have additional revenue to inject back into our state budget that is not being done because we're so lackadaisical when it comes to the tax system of these corporations, and also the ultra wealthy that continue to move down here to Florida thinking that they're going to get this tax break. But I'm like, oh, just hold on a minute. Foster's on the way. And even with that, we do have to change some of our state laws.
Oh, hold on. I have snacks with friends. I don't know if you have a question, but if you didn't, go ahead and drop down or let me know it was a mistake. Go ahead.
Okay. I hope everything's okay.
I know, me too. I was like, sorry
God.
if you can hear the thunder. I don't know if you can hear the thunder, but it is rolling out there.
It's okay. I was going to try and say earlier, I have 2 dogs. Even though they're 10, they act like they're 2, so I do apologize. But they're being really good right now. They're super quiet. Just in case dogs that they bark.
I have a dog too, so.
Okay, but with increasing the corporate tax rate and closing these loopholes, just on the basis of the corporate tax rate, we're going to be able to generate a couple of extra $1 billion that we can put back into the budget. And then with closing these loopholes, we don't have an exact projection just as of yet, but once in office, we will be able to, because I'll have access to all of the information. And so with that being said, that money we can allocate to a myriad of different areas within the state budget, and also to cleaning up some of the inefficiencies of like certain areas of the state budget that are funded inappropriately. And with that, what we are going to do is make sure that we do pass legislation to establish teacher pay as $60,000 statewide. And we're going to ensure that we draft it as such to where the local school districts are making sure that they're meeting that threshold as well, and there is no differentiation across the entire state. Like teacher base pay must be $60K just across the board. And then from there, what we'll be able to do is create a tiered system, right? So there's no reason why a teacher who has been teaching for about, oh, I'm so sorry. Hold on. Sorry, my brother just came home.
It's quite all right. I have 2 kids in the house, so I'm waiting for one of them to come out. They always have a question in the middle of my life. So,
but with that, what we'll be able to do is, like I said, make sure that we have the appropriate base pay, make sure that it's tiered, because there's no reason why, for example, me coming in as a new teacher, I should be making the same or more than a veteran teacher that has been teaching for 15, 20 years plus.
Correct.
It makes absolutely no sense. And especially when some of these teachers across the entire state have doctoral degrees.
Yes.
Like for myself, I have 2 master's degrees, but there are educators that have doctoral degrees, 20 years experience, and they're making less than me. It's so disrespectful, like so disrespectful. So I want to ensure that we have the necessary financial infrastructure in place so that our teachers are getting the respect that they deserve. And then from there, what we will also be able to, what's happening right now is we're going through a teacher shortage. Why? Because we're undercompensated and overworked. However, though, once you're paying teachers appropriately and you're also providing the relevant trainings that are needed to grow and cultivate your, workforce, so to speak, and again, being able to retain them, then you're going to see the shift, like within the culture for public education. Like then you're going to see an uptick in some of these scores. Why? Because you're having quality teachers that understand how to spiral content, how to remediate, how to develop engaging lesson plans, how to incorporate different teaching tactics that, address the kinesthetic learners or the visual learners or the ones that are more auditory. Like there's so much that goes into teaching, but again, you have to have the quality educators in place. And we have to make sure that we're doing that, because what this is an investment within our future. Because as I mentioned before, it all circles back like one, cycle.
Right. I agree with you. I think that, and I also think that it needs to be looked at. It seems to me that kids are taught to test. They're not taught critical thinking. They're not taught like to learn. They're taught to memorize or to on the test. And that's not how every kid learns, and that's not how they're not retaining that information. So you have kids that are going all the way through school who are still almost functionally illiterate because they've just memorized. They haven't learned the content, they've memorized it.
Right. No, correct. And I would say that presently it's a little less than like when I was in school, like we were taught to pass the FCAT.
Right.
And now there's just an excessive amount of testing with like fast testing. And it's a little less of being taught to the test, like to the T, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like with FCAT, you were taught to the test a little bit now, but in a different way. It's less exact, if that makes sense, and it's more of like the theories like behind it.
Right.
Because even with math, when we're testing when we're teaching as it relates to like the Algebra 1 EOC, we don't go through, at least for myself as a teacher in my PLC that we were a part of, we were never teaching the students on a question standpoint. We were instructing the students as it related to the subject. We never taught to a test. Some do, right? And that's why it's like we have to make sure that we're creating and we're protecting and we're fully funding and we're investing in public education so that across the board, yes, you have teachers like myself and my colleagues where, again, you're teaching about the subject and you're teaching the different tools that can be applied across different problems,
Right.
instead of just teaching specifically on a question by question basis, because then it's a disservice to our students.
I agree. Spooky, did you have one last question before Dana has to go?
Hi, yeah, I would like to know what are your plans for our environment and how you're going to work on the climate crisis that we have here in Florida? How are you going to protect the reef that we have down near the Keys? Anything you have towards FEMA and hurricane response? Can you talk about that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, Spooky.
So I think we had a question kind of similar to that earlier. Of course, within my powers as governor, within the state government for environmental protections, I want to make sure that we have a scientist that's leading these agencies. What I also want to ensure through actually economic opportunity is that it's two birds, one stone. And what I mean by that is we're taking the time to create economic opportunity within our state to invest in areas like climate resiliency or even clean energy. And we're also creating jobs as well, right? So it's really important to make sure that, yes, we're stimulating the economy, but we're still protecting our environment as well. One thing that I'm really big on that I want to ensure that we actually see again and implemented is there was a piece of legislation to build like a mangrove kind of barrier around our coastal lines to ensure that it was mitigating against these natural disasters that we have because it's Florida, right?
It's Florida.
Right. So that way we were protecting our coastal lines and even kind of in a way mitigating against like storm surge and things of that nature. Of course, that died within the state legislature.
Yep.
But I want to see the resurgence come back. And I do understand that, for example, it might be a little bit of an uphill battle being a Democratic governor within a Republican-led legislature, but I'm up for the fight, and I want to ensure that there are certain areas of our government that have not been prioritized are actually like being done. I'll also say that as it relates to, I think one of the other things, I think she said it was the reef.
Yes.
I think
Yes, in the Keys.
So, right. So as it relates to the reef, I always say this. I am a math teacher, not a science teacher, and I absolutely respect what the experts say. So once in office and I have my team, I will absolutely make sure that we are addressing a myriad of issues that are currently taking place within our state where, again, the lack of environmental protections have been occurring for decades. And it's sad to say that this has been our norm, but underneath a Foster administration, that changes. And as it relates to like our funding for like disaster response, so I think she said like FEMA, unlike Ron DeSantis, I will make sure our funds stay as such so that the people of the state, when we are in a state of emergency, are able to have those funds to help them instead of diverting it into, well, basically a more heinous act like the construction of Alligator Alcatraz.
Exactly, because we know we can't count on the federal government, FEMA, to come basically decimated our government and you know a lot of our agencies. So we can't look to Washington to help us. And you and I both know, especially me for 54 years, these hurricanes can be very destructive. So
Right.
we need to make sure that we need to have some reassurance that A, we're going to get emergency help, and B, we're not going to have our insurance claims denied. And both of those things you've addressed, which are really important for Floridians.
Yes, no, absolutely. And, there's so much statewide that needs to be addressed.
Yes.
And I know that there are millions of people across the state where they want, I think everyone has like their North Star.
Of course.
And I want everyone to know that everyone's North Star matters, and we will ensure that we address it the best way that we can. And I will always be very vocal and transparent with the people whenever I get pushback to let them know I'm getting pushback and I'm not able to achieve what I need to because your representative for district such and such is not allowing me to,
Right.
Because what we've seen is that when our voices come to the forefront and we make them loud enough, we do see the change that we want, even if it's by Republicans.
That's right.
So we have to make sure that we're carrying that same type of energy through into the next governor. And I'm absolutely going to be that type of governor where, again, I'm always going to be transparent. When I'm able to accomplish something, I will let you know. When I'm not able to, I will let you know, and I will let you know exactly why. And if I need y'all's help, I'm going to let you know I need y'all's help so that, again, we are holding these Republicans to the fire. We absolutely have to start fighting fire with fire.
We do.
Like, that's who we are. And I think a lot of us are so tired of seeing Democrats just say, yeah, this is what we're going to do, just to cave in and not do what they said that they were going to do.
I agree. It is beyond frustrating. It is beyond frustrating because we want. I know that the Democrats have always taken the high road. Like we've always, been the ethical ones and done things by the right way. Well, they have thrown out the rule book, set it on fire, and kicked it down the road. So I'm not saying do things unethically. I'm not saying any of those things, but you cannot show up and be like, I have a little dropper full of water to put on the fire. Okay. I've done something, we need a fire hose, and you've got to get back. And I just want to say, I know that you have up until Tuesday for the primary. Tuesday's the last day. I do intend on early voting for you tomorrow. You have certainly earned my vote, and I'm
actually voting tomorrow too.
Oh, that's funny. If anybody would like to help get involved with Dana's campaign, you can go to fosterforflorida.com, correct? Okay.
We have a canvas that actually is taking place right now in Broward. If you are local to Broward County and if you know where the Wawa gas station is located off of Rock Island and McNabb, we have volunteers that are literally congregating there right now. I believe tomorrow there's a canvas in Hillsborough with the Hillsborough Progressives or phone bank or something like that. There's a lot of things that are happening. I think we have phone banks every day. We have canvassings that are happening. It's just a lot going on, but absolutely they can visit us at our website as well. Because once you sign up as a volunteer, then you sign up for our email list, and we're sending out emails like every single day. And I will say for anyone that might not have seen our emails like as of recently, please check your spam. I don't know why, but for some people, our emails do go to your spam folders, but we are sending them so that we can let you know what we're doing here at Foster for Florida.
Well, thank you so much for your time. So excited. I am rooting for you. I am rooting for you so hard. And when people come up and ask me, as a political content creator, people say, who do I vote for? What should I do? I don't know who to vote for. And I'm just like, vote for Dana Murray Foster for governor. And we need progressive. I'll take any Democrat over Republican any day, but what we really need is progressive. And Mamdani has shown us, El Sayed has showed us, and you are showing us that if you get in with the people and you door knock and you talk to the people, that is the most effective strategy because people want to feel heard. People want to feel heard, and they're more likely to give you a chance if they think that you heard them. And the only way to do that is to meet face to face.
Absolutely. And I do want to say that I am the only candidate in this gubernatorial race that has been endorsed by the Democratic Progressive Caucus of Florida. I am the only progressive candidate, and there are even some other, I think, posts that have been circulating on like this platform particularly, where they even acknowledge that my other competitors are establishment Democrats.
Correct.
And I am a progressive Democrat. I am not a career politician. And even though there are some individuals that try to knock me for my quote unquote lack of experience, I want everyone to know that I am experienced. I am experienced in a non-traditional way.
Correct.
And what I mean by that is what we see as individuals that are considered experienced is that they are at the beginning phases of creating public policy and legislation. My experience comes with dealing with public policy and legislation as a finished product.
Right.
So I have the same type of experience as they do. It's just that my experience is in a different phase of the life of public policy versus some of my competition within the primary. So I did want to say that on record, just to ensure that we are making it crystal clear, because I am just as qualified as anyone else that is running within this Democratic primary.
Absolutely. And it's smart.
Thank you.
I think you are so smart and such a good speaker. And I think that you're what Florida needs. We need someone who's going to get on TV and tell us the truth. Get on TV, tell us what you need us to do to help you. Like you said, being fully transparent when you can do things and when you can't. And I think people understand that because we all have lives to live, and there's certain things we may say yes to and we end up can't doing or can't finish for whatever reason. We're all human. And we also know, and I need to remind the public, that you have, 8 years of this cleanup from DeSantis? And whatever president comes after,
And
over 30 years of Republican representation. So everything is not going to happen in the first 100 days or even the first year. So I need Democrats to, because Democrats do the purity politics. They have to be like so perfect or, anyway, but but what we need to do is make sure we give you the space, but also the support to get the things done in a methodical way until you can get it all done. But people just expect, we live in a microwave society where everybody wants everything instantly, and no one is willing to wait for it because we're spoiled. And I mean, I'm just being honest. We're all pretty spoiled. We live in an instant society. We have food at our fingertips. We have information at our fingertips, books, music, anything we want at our fingertips. So we have to give our politicians, we need to give our elected officials that come in and are cleaning up 30 years of another party. It's not going to get done the first year. So don't give up on somebody if everything you want doesn't get done the first year.
I always say I want y'all to make sure that you're also holding me to the fire, but I do ask for your grace.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. I will let you go. We took you over a little time, and I'm sorry, but I really appreciate it. I love talking to you. You're so lovely. But I am spreading the word daily for you and here in Florida. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for coming on today and giving us your valuable time. I know how very valuable it is right now, but I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. And yes, everyone, please make sure to spread the word. Early voting ends on Sunday, and then election day is on Tuesday. And so we are going to be posting our details for our watch party pretty soon, like within the next 24 to 48 hours. So I will give the disclaimer, though, that our watch party is here in Broward, just because since this is where my public service started and this is where service to my community has been, we're going to keep it here on the home front. So,
would you open to streaming it?
I want to say we're looking at everything.
Okay.
So, we're still just doing some last minute things, but absolutely, if we can, we'll probably stream from our campaign socials for sure. Yeah.
Well, thank you again for joining us. I know my friend Zeus, you're going to be on his live tomorrow. You probably know his real name. I don't. That's his TikTok name. From email contact, but my friend Zeus is gonna. I think you're gonna be on with him tomorrow. But I wish you all the success in the world, and I will spread the word for you. And thank you again for your time.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. Take care.
You too.
Thank you. Oh my God, she was so lovely. I want to vote for her even more. I want to vote for her even more. Was that good? Did y'all enjoy it? I know other people had questions. I get it. She said she had to leave at 5, and I just hope nobody's mad at me. I did the best I could. That's my first time ever interviewing a candidate of any kind. So I don't know. But she makes it very easy to talk to her. I'll give you that. I'll give her that. She's just lovely. I think she's a breath of fresh air. I think she's willing to stand on business. I'm excited to vote for her too. And I like that she's just down to earth and real. I think she liked talking to me too. Crimson, hello?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm a friendly, so you can drop me. I was trying to tap. I'm sorry.
Oh, well, I surely do appreciate it. That was spectacular. Better listening to maggots spew nonsense and misinformation, right? We have a congressional candidate up next. We have 45 minutes in between. But we do have, next up is Matt Gromlich, who is running against Speaker of the House Mike Johnson for Congress. Big one. I personally do not like Mike Johnson. I call him Weasel Dick, but they're all spineless anyway. But I would love to see his seat get taken from him. Dylan, I'm not bringing you up. I'm not entertaining that today. He's just such a little weasel. You just look at him and he has such a punchable face. Dylan, I said, no, I'm not platform. You're sitting there saying vote red in the comment section. Nobody wants to talk to you. She is exactly what this state needs. And Libra girl, I'm so sorry. I didn't see your Venmo come in until after Dana was on the panel. Then I thought it was too rude to interrupt her to say thank you. I really appreciate it. Libra girl sent a $5 Venmo to start off TikTok right. Hello, Dana Marie Foster. So I wish I would have saw it before I brought her up, but I really do appreciate the contribution. If anybody wants to make a contribution, Diava Talks Cash App Venmo. And I also have a link tree in my bio that has a buy me a coffee. If anybody would like to help support my live, I do help me keep the lights on. I appreciate it. Any and all donations are welcome. Nothing is expected. Dylan, I've asked you to stop requesting up. If you don't, I'm going to block you. I expect people to respect my boundaries. Oh, that's so nice, Spooky. Thank you. We had 135,000 likes. You guys did great. It's a galaxy day no matter what. Hell yeah, I'll take galaxies. Any day. Purple Lion Ranch. I don't know if you were here yesterday, but I got a TikTok universe yesterday. The biggest gift you can get on TikTok. I got it yesterday. For the first time ever. No, not today. Yesterday. Thank you, Dylan, for the galaxy. Oh, TikTok universe. That was really fun. The AI summary says a host interviews a Florida gubernatorial candidate. Love it. Hey, Jimmy. I'm so glad to see everybody here. Oh, yeah, she's a very pretty lady. Very classy. And her story when she said she showed up in a tan suit, chef's kiss. I think she was great. You can tell she's a teacher and 2 master's degrees. She does stand on business. I love that. Libra girl, I just said thank you. I didn't see it till after Dana Marie was already up here, but I just read it a minute ago. I'm so sorry I didn't see it, but thank you. If you guys want to hang around in about 40 minutes, we're going to have Matt Gromlich, who is running against Mike Johnson, is up next, and he will be my next interview. I got to reach back and find that background of him. Woodmonger, how are you? Thank you, Dylan. Are you sending me gifts because you want me to bring you up? Because I've told you no 94 times. Trump did go to college, but he was the dumbest kid there. Not being mean, I'm being truthful. I got another galaxy? Thank you. I'm debating between Evelyn Castillo-Bach and Diana. Woodmonger, are you here? Oh, Zeus. He's on my friends list. I don't know if you can see who I follow. Yeah, you can see who I follow. You can like follow Zeus on mine. I'd have to go look up sassy. I mean, not sassy. Spooky. I can email you like his @ when I get off of here, so that you can find him. And he'll be on Zeus tomorrow. She'll be on Zeus tomorrow. Vix, hello. Zeus is on in the morning. He starts around 9:30 a.m. I'm not certain what time he's going on with her. I'm going to just be very honest. I'm not sure. I am worried about James Fishback too. What a horrible, horrible. Oh, hey, Christopher. Hello. Okay, thank you. Yeah, you're watching Donnie. Yeah. Zeus is good. Yeah, Fishback is very dangerous. Yikes. Should I do just a regular background and do a debate or two before while we're waiting? If I get any. I haven't been very successful getting many. No. Yeah, I'll put that one up. See if anybody comes up. If they don't, You got here late. That's okay. The interview with Dana Marie Foster was fantastic. We're going to be doing Matt Gromlich in about 37 minutes. Yeah, she's going to be on with Zeus tomorrow. Yes. Okay, Dylan, what do you have to say that you're itching to say? Because you seem to.
I'm just saying, keep people back, we need more Republicans, and we need more Republicans. They're awesome. And I'm pro-life. I'm a Republican, and I feel.
Boy, bye. The fuck out of here. Dude, I'm going to block you. Stop requesting. This is the last warning. Stop requesting. I don't care how many fucking galaxies you send me.
Hello.
Hi. How are ya?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. How did that
It
go?
was really fun.
Wasn't it good? She's lovely, isn't she?
She's great.
I
I enjoy her. She's so kind. She'd be like Florida's Kamala. Like, I love it.
Yes. Yes.
I actually came up here because I don't know if Dylan is still listening. But I wanted to really find out what Dylan thought about Republicans signing executive orders to take away money from things like disability.
All right.
I wanted to see why he was advocating to vote for Republicans when they want to take away disability entirely.
It's interesting to me because but I don't know if he would. I guess I could bring him up. You can ask him, but I don't know if he's gonna be able to answer you. And he finally drops out of the queue. Yeah,
Because he can't answer the question that I just said, and he heard it, and he knows that he's doing this for rage bait purposes. He knows that he's being used as a tool.
Well, I'll let you talk to if he's going to talk. I have to run to the restroom. If you drop him and I come back before I get back, just do a commercial or something. But I have to run to the bathroom. I'll be back.
Okay, sounds good, love. Thank you.
Because I want to
Are you there?
go before 6 o'clock.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so last
No.
thing.
There's no, not what you're saying. I invited you up because I have questions.
Okay, great.
You're advocating for Republicans.
Absolutely.
Are you on disability?
Nope.
You don't receive any disability benefits at all.
I don't believe in that. I believe in hard work.
I don't care what you say you believe in. My question was very simple. You don't receive any of those at all.
No, I'm not selfish. That is me.
Okay, how is that selfish? Because I'm not done. I received disability benefits after a stroke I had in 2023 for money that I paid into the system. So the system that was built for this country is being used for its intended purpose. So I don't understand what you mean. You believe it's selfish. It's selfish for me to take money out of the system that I put in.
For me, I don't put enough money into it to get out. I barely have any job, so I need to put more money in. But now, I want to earn more money. When people put money in, so I think for me, you're older, so I get that. But for me, I'm not old enough to, I don't believe that I'm old enough to really just get money from people. I really worked in my life. I only have a few jobs, so I think it'd be a little messed up if I take money from other people because they were harder than me. So I believe, as someone who is really work-centric, I genuinely believe in working and not taking from others. I know I don't believe in that, but I see
work, Dylan? Dylan, what do you do for hard work?
Well, the thing is, I'm now in college in my degree. I'm going to go for Disney and do finance for Disney. And I am studying for finance, and I'm going to really get a job in finance for a big corporation and really grow that way. Once I'm done college in a year.
So you're going to college in a year? You're not even in college yet?
No, I end in a year.
Oh, you end in a year. Okay, so you've got 1 year left.
Yes, sorry. And then I'm going to get a job for Disney or a company in finance for Disney.
Okay. Well, I can appreciate that, and I appreciate that from you.
That's right.
You know that people in your party don't believe that working in finance is hard work, right?
I mean, really, I could compare like other majors, like nursing or doctor or other majors. I have AI and Excel. I don't think it's that hard.
How are you paying for college?
My parents are paying for it and scholarship money.
So do you live with your parents?
What?
So do you live with your parents?
Well, part-time. When I'm in school, I live on campus. But when I'm poor, I live on campus. But when I'm home, I live with them. When I'm done school, I'm at home, but yeah.
So when you're at school, you live on campus. Do you live on campus, like in the dorms?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So either way, you don't technically live on your own. Anywhere you live, your parents still are paying for part of that.
I mean, obviously, because but my goal is after that, I will live on my own. No help. I really want to cut my pants out of the situation and prove to myself that I can do it after I go graduate and get a job, which is gonna be hard, but yeah, that's my goal.
Sure. Well, listen, I really appreciate that from you, to be honest, that you want to prove to yourself you can do it, because I understand that feeling. But you understand. I'm not trying to be that. Don't take it this way. I'm also on disability. I already explained that to you. I'm not going to ask you what it is that's causing your speech impediment.
Cerebral palsy.
Cerebral palsy. Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you for being so open about that. But you do understand.
No, I'm proud of it. I come so far. I come so far in my life, and I'm proud of it. And I feel like that's why I say I'm not ashamed of who I am as a cerebral.
Well, I appreciate that from you. I really do. So, if you are dealing with cerebral palsy, then do you also have physical ailments too?
Not really. Sometimes, I walk and I do a lot of walking. I go to the gym. No, not really.
And is that supposed to be some sort of degenerative problem that you're going to be facing? Is it going to get worse?
I don't think so. I'm still very active. I love walking around, and to be honest, I'm not worried about my age. I'm 22 kind of. I don't care about when I'm older that much. I'm more in the present of like I get my degree in college. I do not have time to think about 4 years from now.
Well, I wanted to get to know you a little bit, because what I want to say to you is what's happening is you're advocating for a party that believes that there's something really wrong with you, Dylan, and they would rather not see you in public at all. And I'm going to be honest with you. Even though I'm what you would call the opposition or even the enemy in some cases, I don't feel that way about you. I think that it's great. You are doing things to prove to yourself that you can live a very typical life and you can do all of the things. And I love that, and I understand that feeling, because I'm the same way. Living most of my life in a wheelchair, I prove to myself all the time that I can.
Hello.
These are our babies. I'm grateful for life, and I'm proud of that. So I feel like for me, that's what can not going forward to be that
Right, but Dylan, here's the thing. If you don't have to deal with pregnancy, it shouldn't be something that you care about.
But
Because no matter what you want to call it, that is a fetus, it's a parasite.
it's a human being.
It's not.
It has the
sucking
potential.
off
It has the potential to be a human being, but it's not one
No,
yet.
don't dehumanize it. Don't
No,
dehumanize
and I'm going to dehumanize it, Dylan, because it's not a human yet. It's just, you can't look at the batter of a cake and say, well, you just threw away a cake. No, it's batter.
it. To be honest,
It hasn't been cooked yet. So here's, okay. They were not having it.
He left.
Oh, did he?
It said guest disconnected.
The truth really hurts, and I'm sorry. But I wanted to
Oh,
show
he's
him
back.
kindness
He's back.
because-
He's back.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't check out of you. I'm so sorry about that. But yeah, that's it. But
Well,
I don't
Well,
care.
we don't talk abortion with non-uterus owners anyway. But here's the thing, Dylan. I just want to tell you that what I said to you is accurate. You can look this up for yourself and find
I
the
know.
evidence.
You know, I don't give up my
Republicans
rights.
not wanting
People
people.
are not living. I don't give up my rights. When baby in the womb don't get the two opportunities to live. I like
Dylan,
You don't care about
it's
your
not your
rights?
decision.
He said he didn't care about his.
Baby in the womb are dying. You don't give that. It's
Dylan, women that are already on the planet and that are alive are dying. It's not your choice. It's not your choice. I understand you've been severely red pilled.
No,
And I understand that, yes, you have. I understand that
It's my
Republicans.
own opinion.
Okay.
What is wrong?
I don't.
I'm
I'm
really
sorry.
wondering.
It's not. And
It is.
you no, it's not. No, it's not. Abortion saves lives.
No, it
For a
doesn't.
lot of
It ends
people.
none. It ends none.
No, it doesn't. No,
Killing
it
you.
doesn't. It gets rid of parasites. So
Yeah,
anyway,
it's a human being. Be respectful to human beings.
I'm not respectful to things that aren't even alive yet.
They are fucking alive. What?
Are they? So do you remember living in your mom's womb?
I don't know when I was 2. I don't know when I was 1. And I was still a human.
Dylan, I didn't call you up here to piss you off and talk about abortion because I don't give a fuck about abortion. I don't own a uterus. Anybody that owns a uterus can decide what to do with whatever's in that uterus. If they want to get rid of it, fine. If they want to keep it, cool.
I mean,
Up to them. It's not up to me. It's not up to you, unfortunately. What I'm going to tell you, though, is the party that you say is saving lives because you want to ban things like abortion is also hurting people. People with cerebral palsy, even. Do you know that I was told a story recently about somebody with cerebral palsy. They cannot speak. They are unable, they're nonverbal. All they can do is live. That's all they can do is open their eyes and blink, and they have to feed through a tube. They are going to be hurt by the policies that you vote into place, and you're hurting them, and you share a condition. That is why I wanted to talk to you, Dylan,
okay, I'm
because
sorry. I just have some things about, I have discrimination, and my family is all Republican. I share a lot of beliefs with them, and yeah, I'm sorry. I just have different beliefs about, I really have beliefs about babies. I believe they're crazy.
Dude, you're obsessed with babies and women's bodies, and this is not healthy. You have been religiously indoctrinated.
No, I haven't been.
Don't talk back to me like that. You haven't had to put your body on the line to bring children into this world, and I have. I have fucking 4 kids. My last set of twins almost took me out. Okay? And so guess what? I would have died too. So not 1 life would have been lost, but 3 lives would have been lost if they would have said, we're going to have to take those babies out to save your life, but they might not make it. That's a choice I would have had to make. It's none of your fucking business. All it does is mean that the baby dies and the mom dies. You're not saving any lives. You're not saving anything. You're uneducated on this topic. You don't have a fucking uterus. So shut your mouth and stop talking about it.
Fine, keep up me.
I want you to respond to what Mitra is talking about. She's talking to you about disabled people. She's not mentioning pregnant women.
It's awful, and I need to do more research. And I'm sorry.
Please do more research because they're actively harming people in the disabled community.
Literally people like you.
And even if you have the privilege of being somebody with cerebral palsy that is able to move around with the rest of them like you're all typical, does not mean that they're not going to accept you. You're still going to be part of this community.
Well, my ex-brother-in-law.
Me in a wheelchair and you with whatever your condition is experiencing in the same way. Stop advocating for the party that is looking to take away people's rights, including your own.
Well, don't get to the hearing baby fights, but okay, fine. Never mind.
What rights have Democrats taken away, Dylan?
The right for babies to live and not be unalive.
Right to live?
No.
Yeah, well, that's not true. Sorry.
That's absolutely ridiculous. My ex-brother-in-law, which I still my ex-husband, I still consider my first husband, and his family my family. But he has cerebral palsy, and he is on a feeding tube and is nonverbal and has never been. He has never talked. He has never walked. He has never had any type of quality of life that can be quantified because he can't talk. And we're not sure what he knows. He is 45 years old, and his mom and dad are in their 80s, and they are still caring for him from home. They've never put him in an institution. They've always cared for him since the day he was born, and he's 45 years old. Okay. And they specifically are talking about taking away the disability payments for adult disabled people that live with their parents, taking the money that they would give to the parents away. It's literally people that are just like you, that maybe, or that have your same condition, but are in a worse off condition, who are 100% dependent on 100% 24/7 care, that are going to have their benefits taken away by the Republicans. And these are people that have cerebral palsy.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to go now.
Well, I'm sorry it's uncomfortable, but that's the truth.
Okay, good. Have a good day.
Yeah, you have the day you voted for. I'll never understand the backward thinking. I just can't. Unfortunately, I think it's more religious indoctrination than red pill.
Yeah, he's also very reliant on his parents, so
Yes.
he thinks that he called it specifically was he believes in hard work. But he's going to college, so when he's part-time at college, he lives on campus. When he's at home, he lives with his parents. His parents pay for his schooling. So right now, he may not even know what kind of programs he's on, because it could be entirely up to his parents that are working with him. But when he enters adulthood, and he thinks that he's going to be going to work at Disney as a financial advisor.
Yep.
And if he does, cool. I mean, I'm not here to say you can or can't do it. What I'm here to say is that if it doesn't work out,
there's nothing to follow back on.
Available to you are gone.
That's right.
And you advocated for it.
I'll never understand the people that vote directly against their own. I mean, I understand all parents say, you can be whatever you want to be. You can, sky's the limit. And typically that can be true, but there are times where those opportunities are limited. And he specifically would benefit from DEIA.
100%.
Because he needs the accessibility. I don't know. It's frustrating.
It is frustrating. That's why I actually wanted to have a conversation with him and not just,
I appreciate you being kind and I'm glad I had the extra time too. My stomach, my stomach,
I wanted to.
my stomach started to betray me after I got up. I'm like, God damn it.
Damn it.
So I needed the extra minute. So at least you had somebody to talk to that whole time, and we didn't really lose any viewers.
No, well, I mean, it's just, it was sad. It's sad. I don't like to see people who do have the ability to advocate for themselves.
And don't, yeah.
Daga is crazy. Daga is, that's funny, Michael. I like that. Referring to the disability community that votes MAGA as Daga.
Daga.
Listen, I'm for it. I don't care. But seriously, like, it's sad when they have the ability to advocate for themselves a little bit, and then they use it for negative purposes. They use it to literally oppress others. And we know exactly why he has that affiliation politically, because he couldn't stop talking about abortion.
Correct. And that's what I was getting. That's what I was getting at.
100%, Lisa. He absolutely had assistance in school. He had an
Yep.
IP or an IEP. He had his individualized education plan. He had somebody that helped him along the way. He had speech therapy.
His parents,
He
I'm
definitely has
sure.
utilized these programs before. So for him to say, "I believe in hard work," that's his Republican parents coming out at
Yep.
him. And the abortion talk is his church and probably his parents also. So.
Oh,
At least Diva got a couple universes or a couple galaxies out of it. So.
hey, yeah. But
Come up real bad.
yeah, so we have 15 minutes before Matt Gromlich joins us. So if you guys would hang around for a few more minutes. We've got about 14 minutes before our next interview of Matt Gromlich. He is running to unseat Speaker of the House Mike Johnson in the 4th District of Louisiana. If there's anybody in here that lives in Louisiana that would like to specifically come up to talk with him, please let me know in the chat so that I know to prioritize your question when it's time to come up. I try to do that with the people asking Dana questions. I tried to have people that lived in Florida, like Spooky Eyes, and some of the other people that actually live in Florida and have an opportunity to vote for them. I want them to have the first crack at asking the question, since it's who is going to represent them. If you live in that district, no. But yeah,
Did you have any other creators that said they were coming in for while Matt was here at all?
Zeus was here for Dana Marie. He never requested to come up, or I would have let him ask a question. But Zeus was in. I could see him in here. And no, I didn't. But I didn't get to tell all the other creators about Dana Marie because literally we just scheduled it yesterday. But a couple people said they might be able to stop by for a minute or so. So I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, yes, if he were to win, he would unseat Mike Johnson. But also, Mike's gonna be.
Oh yeah, RTP. Yes, RTP did say he said he'd have his daughter, but he might be able to stop by for a little bit. So.
I love RTP.
But yeah, I mean that was a good time filler, actually, Mitria.
I was gonna actually put in the comments to just let him come up and get a conversation out.
And I'm glad that you came up and really had a question for him, because every time I drop him from the box, he would re-request. Every single time, like probably 15 times in a row. My dude. They sent me galaxies, and I'm like.
He came up after you walked off screen. He tried to started with the whole BS.
We'll vote red. We'll vote red. I'm like, shut up, dude.
No. We're not doing that. We're having a conversation. So.
For those of you who I know I got asked yesterday, no, if Matt Gromlich wins and he unseats Mike Johnson, that doesn't mean he becomes Speaker of the House, because only the Congress, only the House Republicans get to nominate who they want to be the Speaker of the House. It just means Mike Johnson's out of there. They got to pick someone else.
And then the Democrats have to pick somebody right after that because it'll be full of Democrats.
Yep.
We're favored, by the way, to win at an 84% at this moment. Favored to take the House. So.
Oh, absolutely.
And our Senate bill or possibility has gone up to now 46%.
The Senate.
And we're going to take Senate also. So.
Well, you know what? I'm not really on board anymore for Hakeem Jeffries to be Speaker of the House. I think it needs to be AOC.
Yeah, after that.
Hakeem Jeffries is bought and paid for by AIPAC. I'm sorry. He hasn't been very forceful with, he'll come out with a strongly worded letter. I don't give a fuck. I want somebody with fire and goddamn brimstone. I want AOC. I'm not saying he's a bad guy. I'm not saying anybody that takes AIPAC money is a bad person. We all know they have play in the game that they're in. I get it. But as we are continually voting for progressives and bringing in candidates that are grassroots and non-AIPAC, the message is going to get out there, and the Democrats are going to start dropping the packs if they want to win their seats back. And that's how you effectuate the change. You can't always change the whole system. You can't just say, I'm not voting for anybody, no matter what, that votes for, well, then that's just stupid, because then Republicans are going to win. But what you do is you make an example of the people that we want by voting them in and shutting the establishment Democrats out one by one. And they will start to see that if they want to hold their seat or win their election, they better clean house.
By the way, as of after these elections on Tuesday, 102 non-PAC candidates are entering into the races for November.
That's exciting as shit.
102.
And I tell the same thing to people who want ranked choice voting or no more two-party system. You have to work within the system we have, and work to change it. But when you go absolute, I'm not voting for anybody, don't say that. Don't say those words. We have to vote within what the system we have until we can change the system. And if we don't get control of the House and Senate, we can't ever change it. And we may never get a chance to vote again. So that's where the Jasmine's not in the House anymore.
No,
Jasmine lost her seat. I would take Jasmine in a heartbeat as the Speaker of the House, but I think the next one, since she's not going to be there, is going to be AOC. Oh yeah, I'm changing up the background, and I'm changing up the whole seating arrangement before the next guy. No, this is not my first rodeo.
Oh, that's much better than looking at bird shit.
Oh, come on. I'll put myself, oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait. I got to take off the effect. Hold on. Oh, it's going to make me pick the damn picture again. Hold on. Can y'all hear me when I'm searching?
Y'all, our girl's on the struggle. It's okay. She'll get it.
Oh, shushies. 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 I'll go this way so you can see him. He's a handsome guy.
He
And I learned something about him that I didn't know, but I'll let him tell you. You guys like that image of me? Thanks. That is actually me. That was a real picture of me that they put into the AI thing. That's actually a real pic. The face is mine. And the hair, even though it's a little thinner now. But that is me. When I actually like look, put on makeup and do my hair and all of those things. I like being small. Is he single? I don't know. Oh, I have questions. Let me pull my questions up.
You should pull your questions up, by the way.
I probably should pull my questions up since I asked the questions to pull up the questions. So I would like to have the questions ready when I ask the questions. Girl, I thought I was done with the financial documents.
Oh no.
The attorney has asked me for 2 separate batches, and the first time gave them all I had. Then said, "Oh, we still need these." I have been doing nothing but fucking downloading and uploading documents all day for every fucking thing you can imagine. I'm like, can this ever fucking end? Like, it's worse than buying a house. The financial disclosures during a divorce. Oh my god.
Oh,
They even
You
wanted my
untangle all those necklaces.
they wanted even my GoFundMe that I just did for my legal fees. I'm like, that's not income. That was for a specific purpose. And I'm like, no. Who is that?
That was a musical gift. I don't know who sent
I was trying to.
it.
I was scrolling back to see who sent it. I can't see who sent it. I cannot add Boopster as a mod on this account. I have already. My mods are completely full on this account. Whoever sent it, thank you. I can't see. I can't find it. Yes, in a couple of minutes, I'll drop Matria down so when Matt comes in. Oh, Kruzna, was that you? I wonder who, and then much love. Okay, thank you. But I do have some questions for Matt. Oh, looks like I had a Cash App come in. The reason why they found out about the GoFundMe is because I had to send them the bank statements, and it shows when I transferred money in. So anywhere I've ever transferred money in, they want where it came from. That's the only reason why they know about the GoFundMe, because it was part of my statement.
Easy, Mike. I will let you drop me when it's time. Yes.
Brown, thank you for the $5. Republicans' new slogan is "Everyone under 21." Okay, that's funny. Thank you for the support. I really appreciate the donations. I do still operate on donations. So if you would like to help support me, even though I'm not doing debates today, that's usually where the bulk of my donations come from, is from the conversations. If you'd like to still support this very important work of interviewing the candidates to help get them elected, I would appreciate your support. But of course, no one is obligated. Obviously. All right, Mike, go ahead and drop Matria down. Matria, I'll bring you back up when we're done.
Okay, love you, bye.
Love you, bye. Come on, Mike. Mike. Okay, I got you. Jesus Christ, Mike. They made me send them my GoFundMe. I'm like, what for? But God. And they want all these documents are from the last 3 years, 2024, 2025, and 2026. So I have to go back and bank statements all the way back to 2024. My auto loan, my car payments back, statements from 3 years ago. Like, oh my God. It's been crazy. It's just extremely time consuming. They probably do want my pants. I never get Again, you're right, son. I won't. Not without a prenup. Fuck that. I'm pretty sure I'm never getting married again, but definitely if I do, it's got to be a prenup. Oh, Matt's here. All right, everybody. Matt is on time. Oh my goodness. If I would love a very friendly welcome to Matt Gromlich. Hello, Matt.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing awesome. How are you?
I am so good. Thank you.
Good. Good to hear it.
I'm trying to switch you to the big box and it won't let me. What in the world?
That's okay. I don't need to be in the big box.
I know, but I wanted to have you in the big box. They see me every day. Okay, Matt Gromlich is running against and to unseat. There we go. Thank you, Mitria. Wouldn't let me do it. There we go. He is ready to unseat Speaker of the House Mike Johnson, who we all can't stand. Or not maybe you,
Yep.
but I can't. I do not want to speak for you. But I do have some questions ready, but I would like for you to introduce yourself and who, a little bit about yourself and background, and then I'll have some questions for you.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for having me.
Of course.
Like you said, my name is Matt Gromlich. I'm running for Congress in Louisiana's 4th District to unseat Speaker of the House Mike Johnson. So it's been a crazy, crazy ride. I don't know how much people have been paying attention, but we had our election stolen from us, like legitimately, not like the 2020 election that Trump says was stolen. Ours was canceled in the middle of an election. So it's been an insane ride, and we're still here. We're still doing it. We are waking up every day and getting more and more support across the district, and it's just been a phenomenal experience.
Wow. What's a little bit of your background? What did you do? Or let me maybe my first question will help you answer that. Why are you running against Speaker Mike Johnson, and why?
Yeah, and I think my background ties into it. So I am currently a professor at LSU here in Shreveport, Caddo Parish, Northwest Louisiana. And before this, and I teach future teachers. So before this, I was a middle and high school math and science teacher. I taught in North Carolina, I taught in Las Vegas, and vividly remember in 2016 when the results came in and Trump won the presidency, the Electoral College, without winning the popular vote. And I was teaching at a school where I had a lot of Hispanic students, and they were citizens mostly, but their parents were not. And so I just remember coming in, and my students are sobbing, and I was sobbing the night before and in the car, and they're sobbing because they don't know if their parents are going to be home when they get home. And that is the entirety of the Trump 1.0 administration. And how do I go in every day and teach my students to be good people, to be kind, to take care of each other? And how do I teach them geometry when their lives are potentially, possibly upended when they get home? And that was when in 2016, I was, a younger teacher. At that point, I didn't have the ability to run myself, but I was very involved in the Bernie campaign. In 2016, I was very involved in the Warren campaign. In 2020, I got a job at LSUS in 21. It seemed like we had turned a corner and Biden was elected. We were moving in a more positive direction, and then 2024 hits and Trump is reelected with the popular vote this time, and it's just flashbacks to the 2016 period. But at this point, I'm living in Mike Johnson's district. He is my representative. He is Speaker of the House, and I, as a professor, have so much more autonomy and flexibility than I ever did when I was a K-12 teacher, and it just seemed like now's the time. I have to do something.
That's wonderful. What do you believe Mike Johnson has failed to deliver for Louisiana's 4th District?
That's a huge list.
I know.
What I'm hearing from the ground as I go around is that Mike Johnson is physically absent from the district. He is in Washington all the time, or he's canvassing and campaigning for other people in other states when our district is suffering. We have horrible water quality. We We have the data centers coming in. We have carbon capture in the southern part of the state. We have terrible infrastructure. We don't have access to buses. We have a large part of the region that doesn't have access to hospitals, that women have to drive up to 2-3 hours to access just OBGYN regular care. And we have a large part of the state that doesn't have broadband, even though Biden and his administration passed the infrastructure bill. A lot of that money hasn't actually been sent to the states. And so, I mean, there's so many areas where Mike Johnson just fails over and over again. And then on top of that, now he's taking away healthcare from our citizens who already are at a lack of healthcare. He's taking away potentially Social Security from a population that's very elderly. He's taking away SNAP benefits from people who need them the most. It's just unconscionable.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, when you see the gluttony and the greed that's coming out of this current administration, and Mike Johnson just not doing anything about it. We're supposed to have 3 co-equal branches of government to check their power. Like, that's literally the foundation of what our country is built on.
Yes.
I mean,
and people see that. I think when Mike Johnson was just one of the 435 representatives, he was able to hide.
Yep.
Now being the Speaker of the House, people see. People are upset. People are angry. There was a point in time when having the Speaker of the House from your area was a good thing, and you were able to benefit from that, and we have not.
Yeah, I said Louisiana has an 18.7% poverty rate. Why are so many people working and still struggling, and what would you actually do about it?
And in our district, it's even higher than that. We have a lot of rural areas.
Yeah, that's the average. Yeah.
That's the average. And so at a federal level, again, Biden was able to pass a lot of great, and Biden and the people that were in Congress during that period of time were able to pass a lot of great bills that would have provided to southern states and rural areas. Unfortunately, we're not getting that money. It was there, it was appropriated, and then now it's not being actually sent to our poorest districts. So we do need, as I'm going across, we need broadband internet access across the state. That will help with jobs. You know, we are at a lack of well-paying jobs in the state, and people have to leave. If we are able to just access the internet, then people can get remote jobs and stay where they want to stay, and then bring in money to the state instead of themselves leaving. Also, our transportation, huge issue. There are a lot of areas where there aren't bike lanes, where people don't have access to buses, where people can't get around. That would help as well. Raising the minimum wage. We're one of, I think it's only 5 states in the country that doesn't have our own minimum wage. We rely on the federal minimum wage that has not been increased in decades. And I mean, if you compare that to just cost of living, minimum wage should be keeping up with cost of living, and it absolutely is not. Working on minimum wage is below poverty.
Correct. And it did, if I remember correctly, and please correct me if I'm wrong, from Brian's live, you are a member of the LGBTQ community?
Yes.
Okay. I have a child who is part of the LGBTQ community, and I tell people I'm not only an ally, I'm an accomplice. Like, I'm in the fight with you, because it's just that you are who you are. What type of advocacy could you bring to Congress to address the transphobia and the blatant discrimination, basically, and homophobia of people in the LGBTQ community?
Yeah, transphobia and just the attacks on the trans community specifically. I'm at a loss for words. The Republican administration is taking the playbook from other fascist administrations in the past, where you pick the most marginalized groups, which tend to be the LGBTQ communities, the disabled communities, and immigrants. And that is what we're seeing happening across the country, especially in Louisiana. One of the parishes in our district is having a bathroom bill that is going through their police jury right now. And we've had members of the trans community here who have been attacked, and when the police came, they arrested the victims. Yes. And so 2 members of the trans community, well, a member of the trans community and her partner, the ones who were attacked were the ones who were arrested and put into jail. We have to have people stand up and fight for every single member of our society. And as somebody in the queer community, like, it is not only incumbent upon me to be a part of that fight, it's to bring everybody together. There are many, many more of us than people realize. We are everywhere. We are all over Louisiana. The number of, like you said, you have a child who's a part of the community. The number of adults in their 60s and 70s who I've met who have kids who are part of the queer community, it's amazing. But a lot of those kids have moved away because they didn't feel safe.
Correct. Yeah.
We have to stand up and fight.
Yeah, that has happened here in Florida. I'm in Florida. When Ron DeSantis had a bill back in 2019, 2020, somewhere around there, that if there was a person in the home transitioning to transgender, that the state could take away all the children in the home. And so my daughter, her best friend had a brother who was transgender. And so they were so scared to stay here that her best friend moved to Illinois, and to a place in a blue part of Illinois where her brother would be safe. And so my daughter now only can talk to her best friend through like the telephone or Zoom calls with each other and stuff like that. And it's sad that she's missing out on her childhood best friend simply just because she had a transgender brother. It's sad. It's really sad. And you're right. They are using the 1930s Germany playbook almost verbatim.
Absolutely.
And I talk about that a lot on my live when I'm having debates with people, and they're like, no, it's not. But it really is. I mean, I said, even if history doesn't completely repeat, it really rhymes. What is your plan to make healthcare affordable and to protect Medicaid and rural hospitals?
We absolutely need Medicare for all. It is beyond time.
Yes.
The ACA, it was compromised when it happened. It was only supposed to be there for a short period of time. It has outlived its usefulness. I mean, the people in our communities are suffering, and it's only going to get worse with the passing of the Big Beautiful Bill. What some people realize, and a lot don't, is the timing of how things are going to roll out. The closing of hospitals in my district alone in Louisiana, they're estimated between 12 and 15 rural hospitals will close. We have to undo the impacts of the Big Beautiful Bill.
I totally agree. And I think that people are, I try to tell people also, we don't have to reinvent the wheel. We already have Medicare. We already have a claims process. We already have, we already have it all. If you just transfer the private sector, instead of billing Blue Cross and Aetna and all the different, people, everybody bills through Medicare. You don't have to change doctors. You can still see the doctors you want because everybody's going to take Medicare. And just take those people that were processing claims for all the different private health insurance companies and put them into working for Medicare. The people that are already processing claims, that way they don't lose their jobs. They can still do the jobs that they're trained for. It's a win-win. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. It's really just that easy.
Yes. And I'm a teacher. I love not reinventing the wheel. There are so many people that are smarter and better and more capable that have done amazing things before us. Let's learn from and improve on what others have done.
I totally agree. I just think it's such an easy concept. And the AI data centers are the one thing that let us know when they want something bad enough, there's no amount of money that they're not willing to spend to get it. And how fast they can put up those AI data centers when they could have put up rehab centers, homeless shelters, affordable housing units, all of those things they could have done, but they don't want to. But that just goes to show you that if they want it, they can figure it out real quick.
So quickly. It is the speed at which these things are being built across the country, and especially in Northwest Louisiana. Yeah, it just proves that if people want something bad enough, they will figure out how to do it. And that should, I always forget times or not. I think I can say that it pisses people off.
Oh yeah. I cuss like a sailor. I'm cleaning it up for you today.
I grew up Southern conservative Christian family, so I don't really cuss that often, but like I'm cuss adjacent, you know.
I was raised in Florida. I've lived here my whole life, so in the South, to a very evangelical, almost a cult-like religion. It took me many years to deconstruct. But I've always, even through all that, I was always a Democrat, and I've always voted Democrat, even when I was raised that way, because I just knew I didn't go along with the ideology. But cuss adjacent's the cutest thing I've ever heard. What would you do about Louisiana's homeowners insurance crisis?
So there is a homeowners insurance crisis that tends to be more in the South.
Same in Florida.
More of the hurricanes are. Yeah. It's not something that's come up in our area in the Northwest district, but it absolutely is a crisis that needs to be addressed. And I mean, you know that living in Florida, the number of hurricanes that are just devastating the coast.
Oh yeah, absolutely. What should Louisiana's energy economy look like 20 years from now?
So there's kind of two answers: the ideal and the reality of it.
Right.
In Louisiana, we're right by Texas. So Texas, a lot of oil, natural gas. Same in Louisiana, we are reliant on oil and natural gas at this time. And to move away from that will take a significant amount of time.
Probably the whole 20 years.
Probably the whole, exactly. And we have to. I mean, we are running out of resources. We can't be dependent. We've seen how dependent we are on oil, how our economy is so dependent on oil with the Iran war and previously the Iraq war. And just to be able to hold our own, we have to look at other sources of energy.
That's exactly right. What would you do differently for Louisiana farmers than the current Republican leadership in Washington?
Louisiana farmers, I know a lot of farmers. We have a fantastic farmer running for Louisiana Senate. His name's Jamie Davis. I'm plugging him here. If you all haven't heard of Jamie Davis, I saw him this morning. Farmers, everybody, you want to work. You want to have a job that you care about and that you can believe in. And our farmers do fantastic work. So some of the problem is that these large corporations are buying out small farmers. And we need to create regulations where that is not happening. We have people who've been farming for generations who are being bought out of their land when they don't want to. And so how do we keep these large corporations from doing that? Also, with a lot of these data centers coming in, they're taking up valuable farming land from rural Louisiana. I was talking to somebody who was on the former land protection committee, and he was saying it's like 5,000 acres a day of land in general, and about 2,000 of viable farmland are being taken away every single day in Louisiana due to the data centers, these large-scale infrastructure programs that are not going to benefit our residents. It is a huge, huge issue that people are not really talking about right now.
Yeah. What I think Congress needs to do is stop approving these mergers.
Yeah.
I mean, because look at Taylor Farms. Taylor Farms has probably bought up a ton of these little mom and pop farms. And now we have exploding diarrhea all across the country because they provide to almost every grocery store and every fast food restaurant and everywhere that we eat.
Yep.
And I think
that's not
yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, and I would say it's not only in farming, right? We're seeing all these monopolies that are being approved by the federal government across the landscape. Yeah, absolutely. Media, food, like grocery stores, packaging in general. We have to divest and we have to not approve these monopolies. I mean, it's time to break them up like we did 100 years ago.
Exactly. I agree with you. You're running as a Democrat in a very Republican district. What do you?
As a gay Democrat.
As a gay Democrat. Yes. As a gay Democrat. What do you say to a Republican voter who says, I agree with you on some issues, but I'll never vote for a Democrat.
There are some people that are like fully MAGA that will never vote for me. That's about 30% of the vote. I don't need 30%. I need 50% plus one.
That's true.
We have a lot of independent voters, and we have a lot of disaffected and upset and angry Republican voters. So I don't need people to agree with me on everything. We won't. And I tell my students, if you agree with me on everything when you leave the classroom, you either like weren't thinking enough or you weren't paying attention. We should disagree. And if we can agree on 80%, and fundamentally, if we can agree that what we want in life is to have healthy bodies, we want to be happy, we want to have opportunities, we want to have a livable living like wage, not just minimum wage, but a living, healthy, happy wage. We want to have a future for our children and our grandchildren. We want to just be able to survive and be proud of who we are and what we're doing. And people can agree with that. That's a starting point.
I totally agree with that. And I say that too in my political lives when I'm talking to people, because I have people who are like, well, I'm not ever going to vote for anybody who takes AIPAC money anymore. But I'm like, okay, I understand that. And we can maybe eventually get there. But right now, a lot of people are operating within the system we have. We can't change it until we got to work with this until we can change the system. And if you are not looking for a life partner, they do not have to check every single box that you have. Is this candidate going in the direction that I want to go? They may not be as far left as you want. They may not be as moderate as you want, whatever your stance is, but are they at least going in the direction that you want to go? Because this is more about harm reduction.
Yeah, absolutely.
Than perfection.
We've seen that people are responsive when you go to where they are. I mean, in March and April, before the election was canceled, we had 20 parishes that were in our district. And we went to every single one of them, and we went to a local coffee shop, which that was hard to find local coffee shops everywhere that would allow us to be there as a Democratic candidate, but we found them. Good. And we went to local coffee shops and invited people, and people from all different, ages, races, backgrounds, educational levels, party affiliation came out and just talked with us, and we listened. And said, when was the last time that Mike Johnson was here? How accessible is he? How do you know that he's doing what you want? And how do you hold him accountable? Because I'm here right now. And this is who I am. This is how I have always been. I'm a public servant. I've done so my entire career. I see running for office as an extension of public service. And so not only am I here campaigning, I'm going to be back, and you can hold me accountable. So whatever we agree to right now, I'll be back and let's talk again.
I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, and I don't need you to become a Democrat. I just need you to vote for me, who happens to be a Democrat, one time, and let me prove myself.
I love that. I love that. I really, really love that. And I think that's why the Democrats have seen more success with some of the more progressive candidates, because Mamdani, El Sayed, I talked to Dana Foster today, right before you, who's running for governor of Florida. They're getting out and talking to the people because people just want to feel heard.
Yeah. They really deserve to feel heard.
I think that not everyone, a lot of people are very disenfranchised with voting right now because they're like, well, no matter which side I vote for, I never get nothing, and they're becoming apathetic, and that's kind of dangerous because we need more people in the voting, not less. But if you, would you vote against Democratic leadership if you believed your constituents were better served by doing so?
I would.
Can you give an example of when you would? That's a tough question, so if you need a minute, please take a minute.
I don't know the answer to that.
Okay.
But I'm not afraid to stand up for the people that I serve. And my entire career, you can go back, you can talk to the people that I've worked with, you can talk to my supervisors. My role as a teacher is to protect my students.
Correct.
And my role as a representative is to protect my constituents. Now, of course, when you have 760,000 constituents, and geographically they're all over the place, you have to, that's hard to say, well, this one vote in this one
Correct.
But I'm not afraid to do that. That also brings me to let's uncap the House, because we need way more representatives who are able to represent a smaller constituency so they can truly vote in their best interest.
I agree because you have, I think I live in the Orlando area, which is a very big area that encompasses almost down to Tampa, up to Daytona Beach, if you're familiar with this area, but all the way over to the East Coast, so it encompasses a huge area. And, I know that my representative, which is Maxwell Frost, who I think is absolutely wonderful. But we could probably use more representation for the people that live in Brevard County, or a county adjacent to us, but have very different lives because they live the beach life. We live the city life. We have two very, very different lives, and they have the same representative. So
Yes.
I think expanding representation is not a bad idea.
Yeah.
I don't disagree
Yeah,
with you.
because we've been all over the district, and it's changed since when we started running until now. And truly, to me, it's like 4 completely separate geographical areas that have a completely different constituency.
Yeah. The box has some people in it, and I don't know who is accidental taps and people who want to ask questions. So I've cleared the box. If you have a specific question for Matt and you would like to come up and ask it, please hit the guest request so you can come up. Do you have time for a few questions?
Absolutely, yeah,
Okay.
always.
I don't want to keep you any longer. Okay, there we go.
Oh no, we're good.
Okay.
Yo, what's good, bro?
Hello, what's up?
How old are you? I need to ask your age, please.
We are Charlie Kirk.
You were. He's dead. Sorry, I have to do that because they'll do that over and over and over again.
I've seen the videos.
It's the trolls. I'm so sorry. They were in the box for so long. I figured they were legit. They played the long game to get their song out.
Good for them. Dedication.
I know I say that very flippantly. I mean, no one deserves to die the way that he did, but he was really a terrible person. He was a racist. He was a homophobic. He was a transphobic bigot. I don't have to say nice things about the dead if they weren't good in person.
Yeah.
That's me personally.
No, I'm with you.
I don't like how everybody suddenly gains sainthood whenever they die. It's like, no.
Mm-hmm.
If they were a terrible person here, doesn't mean they're now suddenly a good
We're allowed to
person.
say that. Yeah,
I mean,
I agree.
like, I promise you, I will shed not a single tear, but will rejoice in the streets, popping bottles when the big man goes. What would you say to a voter who believes Democrats care more about national politics and social issues than they do about jobs, groceries, and healthcare?
I think that our campaign proves that that's not true, at least for
I agree.
here.
Yeah, I agree. What are your thoughts on Mitch McConnell?
Like, is he still with us or not, or just in general?
Well, I mean,
In general, Mitch McConnell is very responsible for a lot of the problems that we find ourselves in.
yes.
The hypocritical nature, the not seating Merrick Garland. I mean, you can go on and on. Terrible example of what a leader should be, but unfortunately, a good example of what somebody who's leading the Senate could do if they wanted to, and you could use the force for good. I mean, you have a lot of power if you're able to wield it.
Right.
Do I think that he's alive? I don't know. It's been a while. It's been more than it should.
I'm not sure. I mean, if he is not in any capacity. And what I suggest is the Democrats put up a Mitch McConnell Act and make it for family leave and for medical leave for people on the job so they get paid leave, because he's been out for like 2 months with full pay. And make the Republicans vote against it.
Yeah,
But see, I'm petty like that.
No, if it's not acceptable or appropriate in our jobs, it shouldn't be acceptable or appropriate for somebody
Right.
who is like leading our country.
You can't can't even get sick. I never had a paid. I've never had a single paid maternity leave.
Yeah.
I have 4 children, spanning from 32 to 12, and I've never ever had any type of pay, and his entire staff gets paid. I read that Mitch McConnell's chief of staff, it makes over 200 grand a year.
Yeah, I read something similar.
For what? What is he doing?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think. I think that he's incapacitated. Even if he is still with us, he's not like he's there. Somebody's home, but the lights aren't on. Is my thought.
Yeah.
If anybody has any questions for Matt, please request up. I am open to bringing up this next person.
Yeah.
No. The next person's bio does not give me confidence that it's not going to be another singing person. What are your thoughts about these detention centers? I'm so grateful that Alligator Alcatraz closed in Florida.
Yes.
Inhumane and right before, during hurricane season. All I could think about and see in my mind's eye is these big old tents blowing over into the Everglades swamp and them being eaten. I know that sounds morbid, but that was the reality of the situation here in Florida.
Yeah, so Louisiana, unfortunately, has the most amount of detention centers, ICE detention centers in the country. And we have a lot of people, across the country, but in Louisiana, who are in these detention centers and should not be. I mean, I know people who are going into these facilities, lawyers, people, advocates, and we have U.S. citizens who are in these facilities for months. We have people who are, green card holders who have, done nothing wrong, who are in these facilities. It's abhorrent. Also, the just conditions in these facilities. There's a lot of them that don't have air conditioning. We're in the middle of the summer. Today was 105 here in Northwest Louisiana with intense humidity. People are dying in these facilities. Now they're not releasing the death numbers. Abhorrent and unconscionable are like the words that continue to be necessary, and we cannot allow this to happen. Like, we have concentration camps now, or internment camps, whatever word you want to use.
I call them concentration camps because they're no different. And I get arguments from MAGA all the time about it's not concentration camps. I'm like, well, it meets the strict definition, but also when I liken it to 1930s and 40s Germany, they're like, we're not like unaliving all these people. Like, they also didn't start with unaliving people. They just started by detaining them and keeping them in the camps.
And letting them
be cruel and yes.
Yeah.
It is no difference in my mind.
No.
Than what happened then.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Everybody that's requesting up has cartoons as their profile picture, so I'm not inclined to bring them up. What is the single infrastructure project you would make your top federal priority for this district?
The first one would be broadband.
Okay.
Across the state.
Which is what Biden did try to do and earmarked money for. Yeah.
Yes, $1.3 billion to the state, and of it, it's really hard to even find how much of that has been spent. But 200 to 300 million of the 1.3 billion is the estimate of what has been spent. So there was money that was appropriated, earmarked, should have been sent down, and nope.
Yeah. I in Florida, we actually did get some of that infrastructure money. We got all new pipes run through our neighborhood. We got fiber optic cabling for our internet. Brand new housing development went across the street. There's a big old sign that said, "Thank you to Joe Biden and his infrastructure package for funding this project," or whatever. And I can't even tell you how many times it was vandalized before they had to finally take it down. But they're not affordable. Matt, those houses start at $300,000 to $400,000.
Yeah.
And if you have to come up with a 20% down payment and all of that kind of stuff, that's not affordable housing.
Yeah.
Maybe that is considered affordable housing, but
no.
I don't think that the vast majority of people, $300,000 is considered affordable.
No, and so, what's really great about being a part of the community community that you're wanting to serve is that you understand and you know of the organizations and what they're doing in the community. And so when you get into a leadership role, you're just enhancing what's already being done. And so we have a really great group of researchers who are working with community, and they're looking at how do we take these vacant pieces of land that had houses at one point that were, bulldozed or removed, and how do we build truly starter homes on those pieces of land, especially in like the Shreveport area where I am. And then how do we partner that with getting grants for down payment? Because you're right, if you have to put down 5, 10, or 20% down payment, people don't have that.
No.
So how do we get people into houses, young families into houses, or people just starting out that are affordable, and then provide assistantship? And there are amazing companies and organizations and nonprofits that are doing some of this work. They just need federal support.
Mm-hmm. When you defeat Mike Johnson, what will you accomplish in your first year that he hasn't accomplished during his time in Congress?
Top thing, holding the current administration accountable.
Yes.
So, and then,
That's what I want to hear.
Let's use our power. Checks and balances for a reason.
That's what they're there for.
If people are committing criminal acts, then they should not be in power, and we need to remove them. So, number one, let's do that. And then two, we can do two things at the same time. And so, truly looking at, especially in our area, and I know like healthcare is the number one issue that we have to tackle right away.
We do. In every district across the country, because we've lost our ACA subsidies, which made it affordable.
Yep.
And that is why, not to be terribly personal, but I'm going through a divorce right now. My husband turned out MAGA, and I cannot be aligned. And we are in the middle of a divorce, and I'm on his health insurance through his job. And I have rheumatoid arthritis, which is a degenerative autoimmune disease, never going to go away, only going to get worse. My medications are $6,000 a month. So I have to have health insurance. So I'm going to have to go and get private health insurance, which is probably going to cost me more than I can afford. And it used to be affordable with the Affordable Care Act because I had the subsidies to help me, or the tax credits to help me be able to afford it better. And that's gone now. And I'm staring it down myself. Because once our divorce is final, I'm not going to be allowed to be on his insurance anymore.
Mm-hmm. And just the way that it's set up, where you have to rely on either somebody else or you have to rely on your job. The healthcare is golden handcuffs. And just imagine the opportunities that if we didn't have to have a job solely for healthcare, if that was available because we pay taxes and we deserve healthcare, like it's not like it's free. Nothing is free. We are paying taxes into a system that's supposed to support us and care for us. And imagine if we have that, the amazing things that the American population could do.
Just the preamble to the Constitution, basically, like our government is supposed to be for the provide for the general welfare.
The general welfare
of its population. If that doesn't include health insurance and housing, at the minimum.
What does it include? Yes.
We won't throw food and water in quite yet, but things to sustain life, that is something that the government should protect us through and from.
Yes.
AZ Mike, one of my followers, wanted to know your stance on LGBTQ, and he must be a little late arriving. Mike, just to let you know, Matt is part of the LGBTQ community, so he is very much an advocate because he is part of it.
Yes. And openly part of it, unlike some other representatives from Louisiana.
Perhaps.
That's what I've heard.
It's obvious.
Well,
it's
more than obvious if you live here, but
it's obvious. It's obvious to me, the ones in Congress that are secretly still in the closet. But yeah, for sure, I think your opponent is amongst them. But I just wanted to say that I believe that the preamble of the Constitution, where they're supposed to provide for the general welfare, should include affordable housing and health care at the very, very least.
Yes. Yeah, and another thing that's happening because we have a terrible governor and we have a state legislature that is a supermajority Republican, is that they're criminalizing homelessness.
Same in Florida. Yes.
And then they're eventually going to send these people to the prisons that we already talked about, the detention centers and the prisons that don't have AC, that are using labor, and so they're basically criminalizing poverty.
And they're for-profit detention centers or concentration camps, which makes it even more egregious. And
Yes.
Taylor Farms, where this outbreak happened, was using prison labor. And those people were making $1.25 an hour, but the prison makes $4.75 an hour. So they're not only capitalizing on them getting the money of them housing them, they're also getting money on every hour that these prisoners work. It's modern day slavery.
Yeah, it's indentured servitude or slavery, however you want to phrase it. And the crazier thing is it's happening on land that were plantations before. There's no nuance here.
No.
It is just.
And it's so obvious to us. I'm like, how can they not see it? I don't get it. Dogs for Humanity. Do you have a question?
No, I'm sorry. I came up by accident.
Okay, no worries. Thank you for tapping the screen. I appreciate you. Let me see if Zahir has a question. Zahir, do you have a question, doll? Oh, he dropped out too. People are used to tapping the screen to see the hearts going and all that, so they tend to accidentally tap the box right below me, and it automatically invites them up. What do you think about the new shock gloves for ICE? The $20 million that we're going to be spending for the shock gloves?
Yes, I just kind of heard about those today.
Yesterday.
Time is a flat circle.
Yeah.
What?
I don't think they'll be very long lasting, and I'll tell you why.
No.
Because these are mostly men, and they're probably going to reach down at some point to adjust themselves, and they're going to shock themselves. Or they're going to get lots of buckets of water thrown at them.
Yeah, we're not promoting that, but
Oh, no, I would never.
Never.
No.
I just don't understand, because isn't the point to if there's a threat that you have the actual taser so that you're a distance away and you can make
Right.
sure to neutralize that threat safely from a distance. I know, yes,
It is-
protesters and people in cars.
Yeah, it is literally, to me, just cruelty.
Absolutely. So much of this
It
cruelty and just wasteful spending and shoving it in our faces that they can spend all this money on all of these things that are either just vanity projects or they won't work. And we have people that are literally starving. We have people that are literally being kidnapped. We have people that are literally being unalived from a variety of issues, and they're wasting their money on this. It's just.
We have soldiers. I don't know if you saw the story yesterday of the soldiers out of the USS Abraham Lincoln that are jumping
Yes.
ship or attempting to jump ship because of the conditions. They don't have food. They've been out to sea since November of last year. What they're doing even to the military is inhumane, which is why I think one of the other reasons why they're not bringing them back, because they don't want them to talk.
Right.
Demetria, did you have a question?
Yeah, I think that Pete Hegseth deserved the makeup room at the Pentagon because he's hideous without makeup. But anyway, I also wanted to ask Matt this question. So I know that they, like you said, they basically stole your primaries from you. So what does that mean moving forward? So
Right.
on November 3rd, you're just voting, everybody who registered is just on the ballot, I guess. Is that how that works?
Yeah, thank you for asking. It's a little crazy, chaotic, it's confusing, and a lot of people don't really understand. It also changed a million times over the course of 2 months. So basically what will happen in November when the rest of the country goes and they choose to vote for their final candidate in Louisiana, just for the House races. Those were the only races that were canceled. The Senate race, the school board races, mayoral race, like everything else was on schedule. But for the House races specifically, there'll be multiple candidates on the ballot. And when people go in to vote, every single candidate will be on their ballot, and they can choose no matter who they are as a party registered as or who the candidates are. They can vote for anybody. And that's all 6 House races. If on November 3rd, one of the candidates gets 50% plus one, so over 50% of the vote outright on November 3rd, then it's done, it's over, that person wins. If not, if nobody gets over 50%, then the top 2 people go to a runoff in December.
And what are, if you don't mind me asking, because I just don't know that much about your district, and I'm being transparent.
And it's changed so much, so I understand.
Yeah, and Louisiana is very different from Florida, you know. But what are your poll numbers looking like, or do you even know of any?
Yeah, so we originally had this race, this closed primary. We qualified officially, and on the Democratic side, there were 2 of us. On the Republican side, there were 3, Mike Johnson and 2 opponents.
Okay.
They canceled our elections. They canceled our qualifying. They redrew the districts, and everybody had to requalify. So we actually had to requalify last Friday was the day. And so we didn't even know who our new opponents would be until last Friday, because other people could, in theory, jump into the race. And they did. So for us, ours is a little more settled. We still have the 2 Democrats, me and one other, Mike Johnson, another Republican, and then there was a 3rd Republican before he dropped out. A new one came in. Neither of them are really a viable candidate, but we have the 2 of us, and then we have Mike Johnson and the other Republican. So the good thing, I do have internal polling, and I'll share kind of general information about it, because you can't give everything away.
No, don't. Just a general idea.
So what we're seeing in our internal polling, which is across the entire district, all the 15 parishes that we have now, is that currently there are many people, about almost 30% of the district is undecided. That includes primarily no party and Republican voters. They are very, very open to not voting for Mike Johnson.
Nice.
Yes.
That is very encouraging. So that's why you're on the boots on the ground, in the coffee shops, door knocking is so vital right now.
Absolutely, because it's not enough to be anti-Mike Johnson.
Yes.
You have to show people that there is a viable alternative who has hope and has a vision for the future. But there's about 30% of voters, and again, a huge percentage of no party and Republican voters who are waiting for that candidate to come to their door or to come to their town and to promote themselves. And right now, Mike Johnson in our polling is at about 42%.
Okay. Well, that's really good. Like, that's very encouraging. And I think that's what people want, because people want to talk about things. People will give you a pass on a lot of things, but hitting their pocket they will not. And so I think that we need to capitalize on the kitchen table issues of affordability, of healthcare,
Absolutely.
of making sure that these seniors know that in the big, beautiful bill, the Medicare cuts are coming, but they strategically made it after the midterms so that people have already voted for them. And I don't think any of them know that, because every time I'm debating somebody and I tell them that they're on Medicare, I'm like, yeah, but after the midterms, you're going to be losing some of your benefits. They're like, well, no, I'm not. That's not in there. They have no clue what's coming.
Yeah.
They just have no clue. Mitra, did you have another question?
That was pretty much it. I was thinking about that, and I was like, so what does that mean? And honestly, I guess the other question I have is, who did Mike Johnson piss off? Because that almost guarantees that he's not going to have that seat after this election. with so many other options, like if you don't like him as the Republican, you choose a different Republican option, it seems. So that I was just thinking about how that was going to work. I'm not familiar with that kind of stuff. So
yeah, it's a very different type of election, and I think that's I'm an educator and a math teacher. I love statistics. I love game theory, and I've been beating my head against the wall trying to explain to the Louisiana Democratic Party and the other people running, like, this is a completely different election now.
Right.
And that's on purpose, but we have to now play to this election. This, like, you have to know the game that you're playing. You have to know the rules of the game. You have to know best strategy, and it does seem, at least at the moment, that enough people are interested in or willing to consider other options. Now, it does matter who comes in second. So it seems like from our data that it's very likely that this vote will or could go into the runoff into December, which that in and of itself is huge. If the Speaker of the House
Right.
in this election does not win 50% of his own district
Yep.
right out the gate, I mean, that speaks volumes.
Yes, it does.
It does then matter who's in second place and how, because we only have a month between the November and then the November 3rd, December 12th runoff. So you have to coalesce the rest of the people around you, which is why, so the other Republican, his name is Mike Nichols. He calls himself the Right Mike, which I love.
That's cute. That's cute.
Yes.
That's cute.
Yeah, he's done really well in the South. In our polling, I'm solidly in second, but he's in third. The other Democratic candidate in our polling is kind of a non-factor. But the Right Mike has a decent following in the southern part of the district. He's a previous environmental lawyer. He is against carbon capture, and so we have to not only plan on getting Mike Johnson under the 50% and being the person in second, we also have to talk to those people who will vote for the other Republican and get that candidate on board, like all the candidates, to say, well, whoever comes in second, we then have to coalesce all of our resources, all of our people, all of our time right away as quickly as possible to be able to shift to the December election.
Love that. Well, thank you for explaining that to me.
Yeah, thank you for asking.
Because it just seemed chaotic. When they said your primaries were canceled, I was like, and then I heard you on Rundle's Live. I heard you say, so they're going to make the decision on November 3rd. And I was thinking to myself just now, I was like, so that's no time for primaries. So I was just like, I don't understand it. So thank you for being so knowledgeable and explaining that to me. I'm in Michigan, so I can't vote for you, but I would. And also, I want
for us.
I can. That's true. I just talked about that on my show earlier today. But yeah, I definitely want to make sure that I'm helping out in any way that I can for the right candidates. And I appreciate you explaining that to me. So thank you.
Absolutely, yeah.
Thank you, Mitria.
Yeah.
Mitria got to vote for Abdul El Sayed. So.
Oh, lucky.
Yeah. But Rain, are you in Louisiana? That's how you could vote for him. If you're not in the 4th District of Louisiana, you're not able to vote for him. However, you can phone bank, do the texting campaigns. Almost every single one of them have phone banking. They have texting campaigns, because I sure know I get a lot of them. Which is fine.
Sorry.
I'm not complaining. But I think that it's important that we get behind our candidates. And how do they phone bank? Can you tell them how they could phone bank for you?
Absolutely. So you go to my website, mattgrunlickforcongress.com. The link's in my bio. And on the website, it'll take you to the main website page. And if you click contact, there's a volunteer form. On the volunteer form, you say what you're interested in. So if you're phone banking, do phone banking. My volunteer director and I, I'm a teacher, and so I like being and educating, and so we've built and are continuing to build like Google Classroom setups to where you can walk through and get certified and get a cute little badge in our specific
you.
certified, and then you can vote me.
Do you have a lot of volunteers?
We do. So, primarily we were starting boots on the ground. How do we bring in local organizers, community leaders? So we have a little over 100 very dedicated boots on the ground District 4 volunteers. At this point now, we have infrastructure, and so we're kind of building out our out-of-state volunteers as well. So we don't have as many of those, but we have the capacity and the ability and need. So
Okay, so you are in need of people outside of your district
yes, ma'am.
to make the phone calls within your district for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, well that's so awesome. I'm really excited for you. I really, really wish I wish you well. I hope that you take this. I've really I love that you and Dana Marie Foster, who's running for governor of Florida, you guys are both educators. She has 2 master's degrees and was an educator for many years. And she's using that experience to take with her to run. And I think we need more teachers and less lawyers and politicians.
Yes, we do.
I think we need more everyday people, electricians. We need everyday people, which I think is what the House of Representatives was supposed to be. It was supposed to be the representative of the people for the people.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how it was supposed to go. And it seems like everybody that's a lawyer that can write legislation and all that go to Congress, stuff like that. And I think we need more teachers. I think we need more people that are truly invested in the community, and who can be more invested in the community than people who teach those children in those communities. You have a completely different grasp on the local community than I think anyone else.
Yeah, which is why I knew, I've taught thousands of students now at LSUS, and the students are fantastic. The families, the community, everybody truly is just amazing. And so when people told me that I shouldn't run because I'm openly gay, and in Northwest Louisiana, I'm never going to win. You don't know anything, because I know my students, and I think 12 of my former students are hardcore actively working on my campaign right now. Some of my most Republican students that I taught are like, oh, you're running? Well, and I have one who I made a shirt for that's I don't support Democrats usually, but I support Professor Gromlich.
Oh, I love it.
If people know who you are as a person and what you've been able to do and what you will do, then it doesn't matter, what your sexual orientation is, what letters next to your name, what race you are, it's just there's care, there's humanity in the world. I see it every single day.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's possible.
Well, people also said that a Muslim wasn't going to win in Michigan, and a Muslim isn't going to win in New York City. So anything is possible. And the really cool part is that your sexuality is not who you are. It doesn't make up your whole being. Just like being heterosexual is not my entire identity. I mean,
yeah, one of my volunteers the other day, she looked at me, she's like, I don't mean this offensively, but you being gay is the least interesting thing about you.
right?
Cool.
Exactly. You're like, yes.
Yeah.
So I have hope. Seeing all of the Democrat success, whether it be moderate, whether it be progressive, as long as the D is winning, I'm okay. We can eventually get more progressive, but we have to get some type of power back, or we're going to lose everything, even maybe the chance to vote again. This midterm is really that important. It's a referendum on what the president's lawlessness and the carelessness and spinelessness of Congress right now.
Yep. And people across the political spectrum are seeing that.
We can all see it. Now they may not be vocal that they see it, but they see it because they can't help but see it.
Yep.
And I did have one person ask me to ask you if you were single.
Okay. No.
Okay.
I have an
Okay.
He's a Venezuelan American. So
Awesome.
we also have a lot of, I've learned a lot from him and his family, not only in Venezuela and everything that's going on, just in general, like the immigrant population here in Louisiana and the country. He's also my everything person for the campaign. So poor guy.
I love it.
We got together and I was a professor, and I was like, I'm gonna do this crazy thing and run for office. And he's like every single flyer, video, any graphic design, anything is him. The website, he's beyond fantastic and has accepted that this is our reality. I asked permission first because I knew it was going to be a lot. There were 4 people that I asked permission for, or I needed their complete endorsement before I decided to run. So it was my partner, one of my former students who helps me out. I have a little farm here as well. I have chickens and emus and stuff. So she was like my farm hand. And so I was like, we're going to switch from farm hand to running for Congress. My mom and then my therapist. So when those 4 people all said, yes, go ahead. I got you. You're ready to go. I was like, okay, I know I can do this.
Well, I'm so glad that you have an incredible village around you and a support system with you. That's important for everybody. And running for Congress, I have to imagine, is no easy task, or any office, but especially in a very public, in a seat of someone who has an important position as third in line to the presidency right now. So,
yeah, it's exhausting, but I knew how amazing the people of Louisiana are, and the people in District 4. I knew it, and just the complete, overwhelming, positive reaction is more than I could have ever imagined. It's hard work, and I'm exhausted,
I'm
and
sure.
every single day I wake up and I'm so exhilarated. I am just so blessed and humbled to be on this journey and to have so much support. It's beyond anything I could have imagined.
Well, I am truly happy for you. I'm rooting for you with all I've got. I will help spread the word. If you need anything from me, you can always reach out to me as well.
Yes, ma'am.
If you need another run on here or something as you get closer, or if you're winning your race, you want to come back again another time to talk to more people, I can try to set that up. But anything I can do to help from my little corner of Florida here, I'm willing to help. But I so much appreciate your time. Thank you for being transparent. Your answers are fantastic. I think that you're going to be great.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you everybody for being here too.
You're welcome. Oh, somebody said they had a question. Do you have a couple more seconds? Because I think somebody's been in the box. I didn't see them. Do you have another moment, or do you need to go?
Yeah, 2 or 3 more minutes.
Okay, I think one of my followers, Boxer Mom, had a question for you. Boxer Mom, he's got like 2 minutes, so make your question pretty quick if you could, once you connect.
Hi, Deanna.
Hey, Boxer
Hi.
Mom.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Have you hooked up with another TikTok account named Danny Cook?
I have not. I don't.
Okay.
Danny Cook.
Well, she has created. Actually, there's a meeting tonight.
It's DANI.
But anyway, yeah.
Oh, okay. I met her once.
Yeah, and I think now it says DANI space 7. But she's created the Project for the People, and she has went through every single county in the United States, everywhere. It has all the numbers there, and then with all the different things that are going to be coming up, with the I don't know, exactly what your state's going to lose, with Medicaid and stuff that's coming up. She's went in and made flyers that you can easily print for everything.
Okay. Amazing.
Yeah, and she does a lot of, she also, it's this would be good for the people that are maybe making phone calls and stuff for you. But, first thing, let me back up. She also teaches you how to just go have a conversation with people and not necessarily forcing upon them, just approach them as, hey, these are going to be, I just wanted to provide this to you because it may not affect you, but it could somebody in your family, and these are the cuts that are going to come. So I'm just trying to, let people know. And it starts to open the door,
Absolutely.
And so she actually has
A whole database. Yeah.
People, she has people, all of us regular citizens, 48 states right now, she has people out in different counties and doing this and talking to their neighbors and their friends. But I like the fact that like all the imaging, all the flyers and all that, you can literally print those. And
Yeah.
those would probably be good talking points.
Yes.
Yeah.
She was on a panel like way back very beginning when I started running, so I'll reach out again for sure. Thank you.
The Danny
Yeah, you're
Cook.
welcome. Yeah, there's a meeting tonight, and so sometimes on the meeting, we'll go over like the flyers or whatnot, different activities, but also role playing and showing and
Okay.
teaching you how to talk to people without another like not letting their defense mechanism kick in, be defensive. So like first you got to make a connection. And basically what you're doing is just leading them down the path without giving them the answer, and they find that answer on their own by you doing the work and going through the steps, right?
Yeah.
And they're more apt to be like, I'm for the, yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
Well,
but anyway, I
Thank you,
started.
Thank you,
she
Boxer Mom.
started this like a few months ago. So, but yeah. And anyway,
Thank you,
I might
Boxer
help you
Mom.
with the flyers. You know what I mean? So you don't have to work on that.
Yeah. One less thing for my partner to have.
But anyways, yeah. Good luck to you. I think you're gonna do great. We're counting on you to help us out here. So, Diopha,
Thank you,
for
Boxer Mom.
providing this space to do this so we can kick their butts here.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for the information. Yeah, Danny Cook is really. Actually, I just got an email from her about the meeting tonight, but it's called the Project for the People. But they just added some data center stats and stuff that can be printed out for each area and stuff like that. So it'll keep your partner from having to reinvent the wheel.
He'll love that.
Anything to save time, but we don't want to keep any more of your time. Thank you so much for the privilege of your time today, and
Thank you so much.
we really, really wish you well. And I hope all the best for you and for your partner.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good night. Take care.
Good night.
All right. Bye-bye. That was so lovely, y'all. What a great live. No debates today, but I think that this is worthy work. We got Dana Marie Foster for governor of Florida, Matt Gromlich for District 4 Louisiana to take Speaker Mike Johnson's seat. And Sean, I did want to, I said thank you for the $15 Cash App for great interviews today. Thank you so much, Sean. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. Because I still, still gotta keep the lights on. So still happy to take donations, even when we're not debating. But I think this is important so close to the midterms. If I can help effectuate change, even if it's not in just my own state, but anywhere that helps turn anywhere blue, I'm in. We're all in this together, so. We're all in this together. Sorry. I had to go to my high school musical days. I was an awesome host. Thank you, P. Green. Thank you. Oh, he's very easy on the eyes. Yes, indeed. I told you he was handsome. I think there's somebody in the box, but my internet, I don't know what's going on, but it's just, I can't, there we go. Couldn't bring anybody up. Thank you guys. Thank you for thank you for the nice words. I appreciate it. And thank you for the Cash App, guys, and Venmo, Libra. That was really nice. It still helps. Oh, no, you didn't want to come up? Okay. I made him feel comfortable. Thank you. When I said were for Charlie Kirk, I know. Thank you, Jersey girl. Thank you guys, everybody. It is past my time, but I was just gonna, chit chat for a second. But I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for being here today. Today was great. I appreciate the support from you. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll be back to our regularly scheduled program tomorrow, and we'll get the MAGA debates up again. But I just find this to be very, very important. I really do find this to be. Thank you, Scissor. I find this to be very, very important, especially this close to the midterms. We need to get as many Democrat people elected across this country as we can. But thank you guys for the likes, the taps, the loves, the gifts. Thank you for all the things. I appreciate you being here. Y'all know I can't do it every day without you. But I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I will see you guys tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern, and we'll do it all over again, okay? You guys have a great night. I appreciate you. I love you, and we'll be back at it tomorrow. Bye. And happy ThunderCon Thursday! Oh, bye, YouTube.